Good afternoon, all. I'm Kenneth Woodson, Chair of the Board of Review. Uh, Today, we will get started with a few preliminary matters. Initially, we will ask the Law Department to give us a list of matters that have been resolved, or if there are continuances requested or otherwise resolved matters, after which we will uh, review any matters from the executive session, and then we will get started. We ask everyone present who is presenting today uh, to understand that this is a formal hearing. The outcome can have a major impact on your property. Uh, and so we ask you to treat this as if you were in the court building itself. So please come prepared to present your case. We need you to be dressed properly and not be reclining in your bed or your easy chair. Men should not be wearing hats, and shouldn't be eating or smoking. And certainly, if you're driving in your vehicle, you must be parked so that we, in fact, can conduct a hearing. We will not conduct a hearing if you're driving. So thank you very much for your cooperation. And I ask also, as your address and or name is called, if your matter is listed as moot or moot complied, that means that it's resolved for today. The whole appeal process is worked out. If you need explanation as to what that means, please call the administrator. There's a number on the telephone number on the communication that you receive from the board. Call that number and they will explain the differences and give you some sense of what to do next, if anything. Thank you very much. What will happen now, the board itself and the panelists will introduce ourselves to you, and then we will hear from the law department. I'm Kenneth Woodson, board chair.
Steve Pettit, board member.
Roger S. Tennant, senior board member.
Beverly Penn, board member.
Ken Washington, board member.
Brad McSherry, board counsel.
Richard Wade, board administrator.
Thank you very much. Who's representing this law department today?
Good afternoon, board members. This is Michael Rulo, RULLO, on behalf of the city.
Thank you very much. What do you have for us, Mr. Rulo?
Turning to number 6, appeal ending 003-562 900 Packer Avenue, appellant Antonio Peretta. My understanding is that there was a continuance request from the appellant, and then that was not opposed by the city.
Yes, we reviewed this matter in executive session, and we'll note it as continued.
Understood. Moving to number 20 on the list, appeal ending 004-874 2023 West Oxford Street, appellant Vernon Lucas. I believe that I emailed the board CCing the counsel that is about to enter on this case on behalf of Mr. Lucas, but this is going to be marked moot.
Okay, so noted as moot. Thank you.
Moving to number 21, appeal ending 005-278 1223 Walnut Street, George Karagianis. There was a city continuance request due to witness unavailability. I'm not sure if that has been disposed with yet.
Well, we wanted to understood also that from the record, it appears that legal counsel is required. Is anyone present representing this, the interests of 1223 Walnut Street? 1223 Walnut. Okay. Just to note, Mr. Rulo, that going forward, we will mark it as continued for today. So just mark going forward that will be a requirement of legal counsel. So whoever's handling this matter for the city should note that.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay.
Turning to number 26, appeal ending 001-221 374 Kittner Hill Road, appellant Ariane Beshkepia. My understanding is that there was a agreed upon continuance between the parties.
Yes. Again, we reviewed it in the executive session and granted the request for a continuance.
That does it for preliminary matters. On behalf of L&I attorneys, I'm not sure if the water department has any.
Okay. If anyone else has any additional matters, please use the raised hand sign so that we can respond to you. Is anyone else?
Yeah, this is Melanie Nezich.
Okay.
From the law department. I'm handling the water department cases today.
Okay.
So, if I may, number one, do you want me to read the full numbers out, like HA 2023?
The last section, the last four digits, it's most critical.
Case number one,
and
the
the
last
address.
four digits. The address is 820 Cantrell Street. Appellant's name Brang Ra. Last four digits 4402. That notice has been satisfied. It can be marked moot complied.
Moot complied, thank you.
Number two, 8306 Rodney Street. Appellant's name Brian Ford, 4485. The NOD was rescinded and it can be marked moot.
Moot, thank you.
Number three, 7006 Paschall Avenue, Paschall Avenue. Appellant's name Phyllis Henry. Notice was satisfied, moot complied.
Moot complied, thank you. Did you
Number-
give us the four
Oh,
digits?
sorry. Paschall Avenue was 4487.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Number four, 6628 Lotus Road. Appellant's name Samira Richard Hammonds, 4497. The city is ready to move forward with that
Okay.
matter.
And I am present.
Okay, thank you. We'll call it in regular order. So only matters that have been resolved will need to be brought forth at this time.
And I have two more. Number five, 305 Schurz Lane, John Straczynski, 4756. Notice satisfied. It can be marked moot complied.
Moot complied, thank you.
And finally, there's a case listed number 27 for the water department. I believe it was marked must be heard today from a continuance last hearing date. 593 Carver Street, appellant's name Patricia Clark, 4756. The city is ready to move forward and would ask that the matter be heard today.
Okay, is Patricia Clark available? Patricia Clark. Patricia Clark. Someone is attempting to share something on my screen.
That's the appellant, Ms. Hammonds.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Patricia Clark. I tell you what, Ms. Nessich, what we will do, she isn't responding at the moment. I know there was a request for a continuance. I'm not prepared to do that just yet. So we will call it in regular order and see if she responds, okay?
Understood. Thank you. I do have a limited witness availability. I believe that he has to clock out at 4, so we can
Okay.
check back in.
Yeah, check in with Mr. Wade and he will make sure that we call it in the appropriate order, okay?
Yes, sir. And I'm just looking to see if my witness has shown up for this first matter, but I'll allow Ms. Curley to go ahead.
Ms. Curley, you're muted.
Yep. Good afternoon, board. I wanted to alert you of a settlement on matter number 9. It's HA 2023-004611, United Inspection Agency. That settlement was reduced to writing and forwarded to the board. And it was for a city affirm with a reduction in fine to $300.
$300 fine? Okay.
And then the next matters I wanted to alert the board are matters 10 through 17. The appellant is Tulio Oliveira. For these matters, the violation notices were actually issued to a corporate entity, Medi LLC. I do know Mr. Oliveira is here today. However, he had indicated to me on Tuesday this week that he did not have an attorney, and I don't believe one is present here today.
Okay, Mr. Oliveira, are you present? Tulio Oliveira.
Yes, I'm here.
Would you mind giving us your video so we can see your image, please?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Oliveira, you understand that as a corporation, you must have an attorney represent you at these hearings.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why don't you have an attorney?
Because I thought I could be heard first before having an attorney present, or unless I misunderstood the email from the attorney, from the city of Philadelphia attorney.
I don't have an understanding of what you just said. I asked you initially, did you understand you needed an attorney to represent you at these hearings? And you said yes. And I'm asking, why don't you have an attorney?
because according to the email that was sent to me by the attorney hired by the city of Philadelphia, I understood that I could be heard first before getting an attorney.
Okay, that directly contradicts the communication you've gotten in writing from the board. So you must have an attorney. Please hire one as quickly as possible. Otherwise, this matter will be dismissed. Understood?
Yeah.
Ms. Curley, anything else you want to add?
I just want to clarify for the record, I think he's referring to the email I had sent. And in that email, I had said that the board, generally requires attorneys for corporate entities. I had asked him if he had retained one, and I said that the board would explain this to him on Thursday. So I just wanted to be clear for the record. That's the exchange we had.
Okay, means you need to have an attorney, sir. And we will, next time we bring this up, if you do not have an attorney, we will dismiss it for lack of prosecution. Okay, Ms. Curley, would you mind putting all those addresses on the record, please, so that we can clear up the today's
that's
calendar?
no problem. So this regards 505 Cobbs Creek Parkway, HA 2023-004616, 2237 North 33rd Street, HA 2023-004618, 2227 North 33rd Street, HA 2023-004619, 2233 North 33rd Street, HA 2023-004620, 2229 North 33rd Street, HA 2023-004621, 2223 North 3rd Street, HA 2023-004622.
I think you 33rd Street, aren't you? You said 3rd.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, 33rd Street. These are all 33rd Street.
Okay.
2235 North 33rd Street, HA 2023-004626, 2239 North 33rd Street, HA 2023-004627.
Okay, and I don't know if you included number 10.
Number 10
505.
is not, oh, I'm sorry. That was the first one I said,
Okay.
505 Cobbs Creek Parkway.
Okay, all of these matters will be continued so that to allow the appellant to secure legal representation. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, Miss Michelle Reinhardt.
Thank you. This is just a brief administrative question regarding a matter that was already marked for continuance. This is number 6, last for 3562 regarding 900 Packer Avenue, appeal of Antonio Peretta.
Yes.
There were multiple appeal forms in the documents for this hearing, and I just want to confirm that it is only Gilbane Company that is associated with this particular appeal.
Well, that's our understanding, but I don't know if there's anyone present representing the corporate entity or not. Is anyone present representing this case on 900 Packer Avenue? Anyone present?
I don't see anyone present, and I can also represent, I had conversations with their attorney yesterday. They copied me on the request for a continuance, but because there were additional notices of appeal from other subcontractors with different names that were also saved to the documents for this, I wanted to just confirm that there was no one else that might also be associated with this case other
Okay.
than appellant who made the request.
Okay, anyone else present associated with 900 Packer Avenue? No one's responding, so we will assume that none of those individuals submitted a
Usually-
separate appeal.
This is the only open appeal on that address.
Okay,
Okay,
all
thank
right,
you.
thank you. Okay, anyone else before we get to the items that the board itself has? Okay, thank you. Just want to review a few quickly. Number 7, 4694 2053 East York Street, HSC Construction Incorporated. Who's handling that matter?
Good afternoon again, board members. This is Michael Rulo on behalf of the city.
Okay, thank you. Is anyone present who's representing the interests of 2053 East York Street, HSC Construction? HSC Construction. Mr. Rulo, our concern is that this is a corporation. We believe a legal counsel is required. Did you have any information to share with that regarding that?
I have not had communications with the appellant, but no one on behalf of them has appeared today, so I would request that this be marked city affirmed for failure to appear.
Okay, what we will do after I get through these preliminary matters, we will call in order and deal with it. Okay. Thank you. Just one moment. Down to 18, 4070 Haverford Avenue. Richard Camillo, doing business as Builders Group Incorporated. Who's handling that one? That's 4703.
Again, this is Michael Rulo on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Okay. Anyone present representing Richard Camillo, Builders Group Incorporated? Builders Group Incorporated. I see a number of muted blocks. Mr. Wade, anyone present with that descriptor?
I don't see at this time, no, and everyone is identified.
Okay. All right, thank you. Well, we will come back to that, Mr. Rulo, again and dismiss it, deal with it later, shortly. Number 19, that's 4752 at 2210 North 3rd Street, Adam Perlman. Who's representing that matter?
Again, this is Michael Rulo on behalf of the city.
Okay. Anyone present representing the interests of 2210 North 3rd Street, Adam Perlman? Okay, no one's responding. Again, Mr. Ruler, the concern here is that this is an LLC that requires legal representation. Okay.
Yeah, if I may, just for the to also put this on the record, the party that was cited in that violation notice was a Sammy Construction LLC. Based on my review of the appeal documents, I have no clarification as to who Adam Perlman is in relation to that entity. There is a Gmail account that is linked to it, and I don't see anything in the reason for appeal that sets forth if he is an owner, an employee, or what. So at the moment, the city would recommend that this be appealed for dismissed for lack of jurisdiction, since that's not clearly clarified in the documents, and if we get to it, also for failure to appear.
Okay.
Wanted to note that for the purposes of the record.
Thank you very much. We'll come back to it. Okay. All ready? And that represents our preliminary matters. Number 27, we've noted we'll deal with shortly as we come to our cases. Okay. That represents all of our preliminary matters. So what I want to go back to, of course, the matters that where no one responded. So I think the first one is Mr. Wade, is number 7.
This is case number 7, hearing appeal ending 4694 2053 East York Street, HSC Construction.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Mr. Rulo, I believe that's yours.
Yes, that is. I would renew our
Just give me
request.
1
that
second.
this be-
Service was made.
Thank you. Mr. Rulo, what is your preference?
I would renew our request that this be a city affirmed for failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Petty, what time do you have?
12:49 p.m.
12:49 p.m. We will poll the board regarding HA 2022-004694-2053 East York Street, HSC Construction Incorporated, City Affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Non-appearance.
Video.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move down to number 18.
Case
Mr. Wade?
18, case 18, hearing appeal ending 4703 4070 Haverford Avenue. Richard Camillo, doing business as Builders Group, Inc.
Okay, Ms. Wade, confirm service.
Service was made.
Thank you. Mr. Rulo, what is your preference?
The city would request that this matter be marked city affirmed for failure to appear.
Thank you very much. The time, Mr. Pettit?
12:50 PM.
Fine, 12:50 PM. We will poll the board. HA-2023-004703 4070 Haverford Avenue, Richard Camillo, doing business as Builders Group, Inc., city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Number 19, Mr. Wade.
Case 19, hearing appeal ending 4752, 2210 North Third Street, Adam Perlman.
Okay, was there service?
Service was made.
Thank you. Ms. Rulo, what is your preference?
I would ask that this be marked city affirmed for failure to appear, but again, would just note that in the city's view, the appellant has failed to establish that they have standing to appeal that violation as well.
Okay, all right. What time do you have, Mr. Pettit? You're muted, sir.
12:51 PM.
12:51 PM. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll poll the board on HA 2023-004752, 2210 North Third Street, Adam Perlman. The board takes notice of the standing issue raised by Mr. Rulo. Also, we will vote on as follows: city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Wade, let's call number 27.
He just showed up.
Okay.
This is case 27, hearing appeal ending 3428, 593 East Carver Street, Patricia Clark.
Okay, thank you very much. Who's handling this for the city?
That would be me, Melanie Nezich, KNEZICH for the city. I believe for this matter, my witness is still in the field. Unless we see Francis Francesco. He said he would log on at 1, so.
Okay, we also have, is Miss Clark available?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Okay, Miss Clark, are you in the hospital or something?
No, I'm not.
Okay. We've asked that everyone coming be prepared to present themselves as if they were in the formal hearing. Is there a reason why you aren't dressed accordingly?
I'm not feeling well today, but I still wanted to be present. I called this morning and let them know.
Well, we aren't going to continue this anymore. This is the third continuance. And
Okay.
so we will make an exception in your case and we'll get back to you as soon as a witness arrives. So let's move on to the next matter.
The other matter, I believe
You
that
don't
my
have your
other
witness.
witness
That's okay.
also in the field.
Okay, we have other cases to call. So, Mr.
can
Wade,
go
what do you recommend?
Case number 8,
Okay,
hearing appeal ending 0738, 213 South 53rd Street, James Ferreira.
okay, who's handling that matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Michelle Reinhardt for the City of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon. We have legal counsel noted for the record. It's Douglas Grannon. Is Mr. Grannon available? Douglas Grannon, or anyone else who is representing the interests of 213 South 53rd Street? Okay, no one's responding. Mr. Wade, was service made?
Just let me check. Service was sent to both James Ferreira and Douglas Grannon.
All right, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt, your preference?
I am requesting city affirm for non-appearance.
Okay, Mr. Pettit, what time do you have?
12:55 PM.
12:55 PM. We will poll the board on HA 2023-000738-213 South 53rd Street, James Fiera, City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on, I guess, then to
Case 22,
22.
hearing appeal ending 1126, 2200 Pratt Street, Carlos Cortez.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Hi, this is Christopher Johnson, and I'm representing the city of Philadelphia in this matter. I'm going to request that for the sake of efficiency and judicial economy, numbers 22, 23, and 24 be consolidated for the purpose of hearing. They all relate to the same incident, which was an illegal dumping incident at 2200 Pratt Street in the city of Philadelphia. It's the same witnesses, same evidence.
Okay, so let's do this. Because we have different appellants for each one of these matters, let's put each one on the record and call each appellant to make sure that they're with us and see if there's any major issues with that. Okay, so Mr. Wade, call each one and I'll get the appellant sworn in.
Recalling case 22, hearing appeal ending 1126, 2200 Pratt Street, Carlos Cortez.
Well, just before you move on, Mr. Cortez, you present? Carlos Cortez. I see a muted Carlos. I assume that's the same individual.
Present, because that's my husband. I'm looking at him right now. He probably just don't know how to unmute himself. I actually just tried to figure it out myself, but he got on a tab.
Well, okay, because your name is not on the paperwork, he will have to be the person who speaks.
Sure.
So he has to unmute himself. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Carlos Cortez. Carlos Cortez.
He is unmuted, Mr. Chairman, but we're not hearing him. I see his lips moving.
Yeah, Mr. Wade, is anything we do connect with him?
I'm going to put him in the waiting room, bring him back so he can connect to audio.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Cortez.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Okay, Mr. Cortez, raise your right hand so you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm testimony that you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because we have 4 different appellants, actually 3 different appellants for the same matter, we're going to hear it as one case, okay? Do you have any objection to that? Mr. Cortez? Okay.
No.
Okay, thank you. So just stand by and we'll call the other 2 matters. Mr. Wade?
Case 23
Mr.
here.
Chair, Mr. Chair, just real.
Yes.
Aaron Bell is listed as the attorney.
Okay, we'll get to that. We don't have an attorney yet who has responded.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All righty. Let's call this number 23.
Case 23, hearing appeal ending 1127, 2200 Pratt Street, Ivan Garcia.
Ivan Garcia, you present?
Yes, sir.
Okay, raise your right hand, sir, so you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down.
Case 24, hearing appeal ending 1128, 2200 Pratt Street, Tiffany Cortez.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here.
Ms. Cortez, is this a separate and different appeal or is it the same appeal?
No, I appeal all of them at once.
So I'm asking, but you have your husband on one and you have your name on one. Are they the same matter?
Only because I assumed that only Ivan and Carlos had received documentation, but it was in my dump truck. So when they were listed as, Carlos was listed as 2, Ivan was listed as 3, I assumed I was listed as 1. So when I went down to appeal it, I just did all 3 of ours. Just to be on the side.
And just by way of further explanation for the board's sake, there are 3 separate notices of violation issued to each one of these individuals.
Okay. Miss Tiffany Cortez, raise your right hand so you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this. Before we move any further, though, a legal counsel, Aaron Bell, has been identified. Either one of you can tell us if Mr. Bell has been retained to represent you in this matter?
He did reach out to me. We did speak, but he said that he was confident that we were able to speak on our own behalf and provide the evidence.
So he's not going to be your lawyer in this matter.
Yes, because we was never told he actually had to. I just wanted to have him just in case.
Oh, okay, so but I just need to, for the record, I just need to be able to clarify,
yes,
and I'm
no,
going to ask each of you, Miss
Okay.
Tiffany Cortez, is Mr. Bell your attorney for this matter?
As of now, I don't think so because he's
Well,
not.
you either got to say he is or he isn't. So if he isn't, are you comfortable proceeding?
Okay, I'm gonna say no.
Are you comfortable proceeding without him?
Yes.
Okay. I have the same question for Ivan Garcia. Mr. Garcia, are you comfortable proceeding without Mr. Bell being present?
Yes.
Okay. And the next person, of course, is Carlos Cortez. Are you comfortable proceeding without Mr. Bell being present?
Yes.
Okay. So to let the record reflect that Mr. Aaron Bell Esquire does not represent the interests of either of the individuals whose names were just called. Okay. Now, Mr. Johnson, do you have a witness?
Yes, the city is going to be calling one witness in this matter. It's Detective Maureen Berner from Philadelphia Police Department.
Okay. Detective Berner, are you available to be sworn? Yeah. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I swear.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Johnson.
And just as a preliminary opening statement, these three matters relate to a dumping incident from September of, I believe, 2022. If I can get the date to be exactly correct, September 27th, 2022. And the department had issued notices of violation to each of these individuals on January 24th, 2023. I have a certified pack. I have a packet of exhibits that includes documents that are the notices of violation that I'll be introducing. But the city is going to call Detective Berner at this time. So,
all right, thank you.
Detective Berner, can you please tell us where you're employed?
I am employed with the Philadelphia Police Department in the Environmental Crime Unit.
And how long have you been assigned to the Environmental Crime Unit?
Approximately 2 years.
What was your position prior to that?
Prior to that, I was a detective at Special Victims Unit. Prior to that, I was a detective at Northeast Detectives for about 2 years. And prior to that, I was an officer in both the 15th and 35th districts.
So how long have you been a police officer?
About 12 years.
And how long have you been a detective?
7.
Okay. And what is your main assignment? What is the main function of the Environmental Crimes Unit?
The main function is, at this point, we've been honing in on the short dumping across the city. There are known hotspots, and we have been given the go ahead after you guys created the notice of violations. We are attacking them civilly as well as criminally when possible. There's other, we deal with if someone's dumping in the rivers, tires, other environmental issues, but for the most part, our focus for the last 2 years has mainly centered around the short dumping.
Now, have you had a chance to review the department's records and the city's records with regard to this incident?
Yes.
And do you recall how did this investigation come about?
So I was actually traveling 95 on my way to my office. My office is located at 4000 North American Street. At that time, the Aramingo exit for 95 was shut down. I don't think everybody remembers that period. It was about 18 months. I exited off the bridge exit and made a left onto 2200 Pratt Street. 2200 Pratt Street is a known area. Well, was. It's now being redone for 95. But at the time, it was a known area of short dumping. It was consistently inundated with trash, mattresses, tires. There was no cameras at the location. As I turned, I visibly saw a dump truck to my left, up on a sidewalk, and the bed of it was vertical to the ground, and a man was standing behind it pushing the button. At that point, I was in my personal car, but I pulled over and advised him to stop and put the truck down.
Now, and just further regarding the activity at that location, were there city cameras posted to monitor that location?
No, they weren't. And they were actually requested at that time because it was a known hotspot. And like I said, we had issues with the schools in the area and the buses getting through, but it has since been shut down because they're actually closing that they're doing construction on it for 95. So
just not to interrupt, but you're saying that the dumping at that location was so extensive that it was blocking school buses from traveling down that road?
There would be times that it would go into the highway. It was a one-lane street, and yes, it would block school buses. We had streets department contacted to have things removed pretty quickly because of the fact that it was blocking traffic. And if anybody understands where I'm talking about, it literally exits to Aramingo Avenue, and you're on Aramingo and you end up at crossing. There's a bunch of schools in the area. And yes, so I was turning to go to work. I was on my way to work when I physically saw this.
What you normally get off at that exit?
Not anymore, but at the time I had to because Aramingo was shut down. I usually take the Aramingo exit to my office, but at that time we didn't have an option.
Okay, so continue. What happened after you exited and saw what you saw?
I pulled my vehicle to the front of their vehicle. I exited. I identified myself. I stated I was a detective with the police department to stop what they were doing and to provide me with license and registration for both parties. Mr. Garcia, Ivan, was at the back of the vehicle. I physically walked him to the passenger side and asked him to get his license. The driver was Mr. Cortez. He never exited the vehicle. He was in the vehicle the entire time. And I just asked him for his license and the registration of the vehicle. He did provide it. And at some point he had someone on his phone that he stated was his wife and was the owner of the vehicle.
Now, when you observed the vehicle, did you see what the contents of the bed of the dump truck was?
Yes, it was broken up concrete.
Now,
large amount.
Is that a location where there had been concrete dumps in the recent past as of September 22nd, 2022?
There are photographs, but right next to the truck, concrete consistent with what was in the truck was next to his truck. And I actually asked him, did you dump this? And he stated no, but there was concrete literally right next to his truck dumped right on the street.
Now, when you were interacting with the appellants, was the bed of the truck still in a vertical upright dumping position?
No, it's like initially when I got out, I told him to put it down, and he did. He put the bed down, and then we continued then we went into our conversation where I explained to him what was happening. Mm-hmm.
What happened after that?
So from that, I took his information. At that point, we could have made an arrest. We did not because of the location and the situation and the timing. It was, like I said, the morning rush hour. I got his information. I advised him what could occur. I told him about the NOV process, and I told him to go on his way. From there, I went to the office. I called my supervisor as soon as I got back in the car. I got to the office, and we started the investigation into the vehicle, the driver, and the owner.
If it pleases the board, I'd like to share my screen at this time.
Yes, please.
I'm showing what's been marked as City Exhibit C1. Can you see, Detective Berner, what the first page of C1 is?
Yes.
Can you tell us what page 1 is?
That is the first NOV that was issued to the business, the Jill of All Trades, that is owned by Tiffany Cortez. Initially, Mr. Cortez gave me a registration for the vehicle that was in the name of Tiffany. However, upon further investigation of this vehicle, the registration came back to this LLC, which is the Jill of All Trades. We investigated that and found that Miss Cortez is the actual owner of both the vehicle and that LLC, which, I mean, matched up. But at the time, the registration handed to us was not the correct registration for the vehicle.
So okay, so there's a vehicle that's described in the notice as a white Ford truck with a black bed, PA tag ZRS 9898. What was the registration you were given?
I was given, give me 1 second, sorry.
If you recall.
Yes, ZRS 9898. The VINs did not match.
The VIN on the registration card in the
The
truck.
one you handed me, correct.
Yeah.
The one we located the correct VIN, because then the next day I found this truck again with different debris inside of it. So it was dumped somewhere that day. The concrete was, when he went on his way, I don't know if he took it where he should have, but the concrete was dumped because the following day we located this vehicle a few blocks from where I stopped him. And we got the actual VIN off the truck. It was parked off the side of the road. I photographed it, and we got the actual VIN too.
So you looked at the
So we-
VIN plate on the truck and it didn't match the information you were given by
him. Correct.
Now,
We did locate the actual registration for the truck, but what was handed to us was for something else. Now,
well, let me ask you, when you looked into the PennDOT record for that registration plate, did it match the VIN on the actual vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Let me just, hold on 1 second. I have to check that actually.
And just to be clear, you're checking your notes.
My
to
file.
refresh your recollection. Yeah.
I have it right here. What's the one here? Yes. Yes, the Jill of All Trades registration listed this tag and the VIN matched, correct, when we actually went out to the location and photographed the truck again.
Okay. And I'm going to scroll down. This was mailed by certified mail.
Yes.
And what's the document at page 3 in the exhibit?
This is the NOV for Mr. Cortez, who, like I stated, was the driver the day that I stopped the vehicle.
And this is the NOV that was sent to him by certified mail?
Correct.
And that was then the same day as the Jill of All Trades NOV?
Correct.
And at page 5, what's this document?
That's Ivan Garcia's, and he was the person at the rear of the truck that I stopped from dumping.
And it's all the same information except for his name?
Yes.
On the document? Okay.
Yes.
And that was sent by certified mail to Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Okay. How about page 7? What is this document?
That is the 7548. That is the report that I wrote up when I came back to the office. So normally if this had been a car stop, if they had been driving, or we would write up a car stop, but because of the situation, we made it's called an investigate auto. So that an IBU was written since it was parked and stopped, and I actually stopped it. Like I stopped in front of it. He wasn't driving. So we made it an investigate auto and wrote it up.
And you wrote that to Mr. Cortez and Mr. Garcia?
That was, yes, the offender information, right. And then if you see at the bottom, it says the owner was Jill of All Trades. At that point, we had located the actual registration. That was the first thing I did, was try to find the actual registration for this vehicle, so that we can make sure that the information was correct. And then we, as you can see, I wrote active investigation, because at that point we knew we didn't have the right information, so we had to kind of dig a little deeper.
Okay. How about page 8? What is this document?
That's the actual registration from PennDOT for that vehicle. And that is the phone number at the bottom. The notes is, so I was able to locate, we have different systems where people make police reports, and I was able to find her information and give her a heads up about what was going on as well. Initially, we were doing a courtesy to let her know that her vehicle had been stopped, if she knew where it was. And that's her phone number and the address I was able to obtain for her through our systems.
And did you speak with her?
I did. 9:30 in the morning, I spoke with her. I advised her what was going on. And at 1 p.m., she called back requesting my badge number.
Did she have any questions for you about, the incident?
She made it, not really, no. She just,
How about the next page that's marked as page 9? What is this document?
that's Mr. Cortez's PennDOT, his license, picture and information.
And this is the exhibit C1 at page 10. What is that document?
So that is the registration that was handed to me at the car stop. And if you notice, the VIN number is different than the VIN number that was actually on the vehicle. And if you keep going down a little bit further, you will see it is in her name. This registration is in Tiffany Gwendolyn Jones's name, whereas the actual registration is in Jill of All Trades, LLC.
Okay, and so the vehicle that's not a 2001 GMC that you stopped, is it?
That's not the vehicle I stopped. Whatever that vehicle is not the vehicle that I stopped.
All right, how about the next page? It's marked as page 11 within the certified document.
So that's Ivan Garcia's PennDOT, his license information. That is the person that was the passenger and was at the rear of the vehicle as I turned on to the street, on the Pratt Street.
And how about page 12? What's this?
So this is, it's called the Vigilance System. We'll run tags, and it's tracked by the tow truck companies. It's a private, as we have. So the police department has LSAG, which runs tags throughout as the police cars are traveling through the city. It runs tags looking for stolen vehicles. This is a commercial vehicle system. And it kind of just, they're looking to take cars, cars that are repoed. The Philadelphia Police Department now has a contract with them. So we run tags. Usually we use this one to find a home for the vehicle, like where is it parked at night, things like that. But it also helps us identify, like, this is the vehicle, because sometimes the tags don't match, but we can actually see that this tag is associated with this vehicle because on this such and such a date, it was photographed on this, and this is the vehicle that stopped that morning.
And
that's
in the picture, is that a picture of the vehicle that you stopped?
Yes.
And that's bearing the same license plate?
Correct. It is. That one's at Bristol Pike.
And you saw this photograph. Do you recall what the bed was full of in this photograph?
Stand by. I can't see it by that. I have it though. I have the Vigilant. Stand by.
You have the original.
Yes, I have the original. I apologize. Let's see. I actually cannot look at it. Sorry, my file is pretty large on this. I believe it's filled with some construction debris. I can't locate it right at this moment.
Okay.
I apologize.
That's what you recall. That's fair. And one other question about this document, like, can you tell by the document where the camera that this image came from was located?
I'm sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear what that question was.
So just one further question about this document. Can you tell by the document where the photograph was taken, what location?
Yes, if you scroll down, Street Road and 995.
And
that's getting on the highway.
On I-95, is that in close proximity to where you stopped the vehicle?
It's about it's Bridge Street, well, it was Cotman Avenue, Academy Road. This is Woodhaven, then Street Road. So 4 exits up 95.
And again, this is not from the same day, right? This is from
No, this is from a previous
a
day.
week,
This was
roughly a
the
week
week
prior.
before.
Is that right?
Yes, correct.
9/19/2022.
Mhm.
And page 13, what is this document?
This is another one, and you can actually see it a little bit clearer in this. There's the truck bed's filled with debris. Looks like a clean out. 9/8, this is from earlier in September. And this is at Bristol Pike, which again, is highway.
And so Bristol Pike.
Yeah,
Is
Street
that-
Road
is that
again.
roughly the same? That's the same location as the first photograph?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, 95.
And page 14, what is this document?
This is, this was we ran the VIN on that. This is the one that he actually gave us. We checked the VIN through our system to what the truck was that was actually put on in the registration that was handed to me. That's the other VIN. That's not the VIN. That's the VIN because we were trying to find the real vehicle.
Okay.
That's just part of
And
the investigation. Yeah,
that was
that's
part of the
VIN.
investigation.
Yeah.
Okay, and how about page 15?
So this is Miss Cortez's, one of her PennDOT, I believe it's one of them, her PennDOT responses. There's more than one, I believe.
And page 16.
This is another one. This is another of hers.
Another record from where?
Yeah, she has 2 LLNs, I believe. One's for Riverside Drive and one is for Charles Street.
Oh, so she has a
It's 2 separate.
duplicate operator number?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm going to stop sharing at this time and ask that C1 be admitted to the record.
So noted. We will admit C1.
Detective Berner, do you recall when you were interacting with the appellants in this case, did you ask them about their business at all? Like, did they tell you that they were in the business of hauling of debris or something?
I think he said he was some sort of contractor. I don't remember exactly what he said. He just told me that the wife owned the truck. I remember, and I was explaining to him mainly, what was the issue, that he was clearly dumping in an area that's known for it, can't do that, and that he just was like in the business.
And when Ms. Cortez contacted you or anyone else, did anyone ever offer you any dump receipts to show any legitimate disposal of the debris?
No.
Okay. I have nothing further at this time.
Okay, thank you. I think what we'll need to do, Mr. Johnson, at this point, offer cross-examination to each of the parties, each of the appellants. So, Detective Burnham, please be prepared. We'll start with Ms. Tiffany Cortez. Do you have any cross-examination questions for the detective?
Sorry. I'm sorry, as far as what, like any questions that I.
Well, yes.
Her?
No. Do you have any questions for her based on her testimony today?
I would like to say something, yes.
Well, that isn't what I'm asking you. Do you have any questions for her?
Yeah.
Okay, what are your questions? You're muted at the moment.
Can you hear me now? Sorry about that.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. When Detective Berner, when you called me that morning and started telling me about what was going on, I let you talk immediately the whole time. And then once you finish, I only asked you one question because you said I didn't ask you any questions. But I only asked you one question. Do you recall what that question was?
I do not.
So the question was, Detective Berner, I said, Detective Berner, I said, I just got one question. Did you actually see them dump? You told me, after you told me everything that when you went on.
Ms. Cortez, what I asked you to ask is a question for her response. And now when you have an opportunity when we finish this to present your case.
Okay, sorry.
Okay? So
Okay.
if you have any other questions?
Not at the moment now.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Garcia, Ivan Garcia, do you have any questions of the detective? Please unmute, sir.
Yes. She stated that she walked me.
No,
From the-
ask a question. What is your question of the detective?
I have no.
Okay, that's
I
okay.
really-
Okay. Mr. Carlos Cortez, do you have any questions of the detective?
Yes.
Okay.
Question. She told me she was a homicide. She worked for the homicide unit. She said she was
That isn't a question. What is your question?
The question is, she said that she walked Ivan around the truck. She didn't. That was false.
But that's not a question. What is your question? What is your question to the detective that she can respond to?
Did she see us dump? Did she see us dump anything on the ground?
Okay, let her respond. Detective, what's your response?
I did not see you dumping because I stopped it.
Any other questions, sir?
Did you ask us to provide you with receipts for dumps that we previously do from time to time? Did you ask us to provide that?
I can't ask you to provide a receipt for something that's in the back of your truck currently. The point is that after this happened, no one ever offered us receipts to show that you took, because the next day it was filled with something else. Like I said, I located your vehicle the very next
Detective,
day.
I just want to
Yes.
restrict the answer to the question. Mr. Cortez, any additional questions?
Yes, I got a lot. Did you or did you not?
No.
Did you or-
Mr. Cortez, listen to me.
Uh,
Your questions have to be pulled from her previous testimony. So
Okay.
you will be allowed to ask them, but if there has to be a cross-examination based on her testimony. So what's your additional question?
I just want. I don't have no more questions. I just want to provide the truth. That's all I
Okay,
want.
well, once the city presents its case, then each of you will be allowed to present your case. Okay?
Appreciate it.
All righty. Mr. Johnson, any additional witnesses?
Not at this time, no. I'd reserve Detective Burner for any possible rebuttal testimony.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we move on, does anyone else on the panel have a question for Detective Burner? Okay, so let's do this. Detective B, please be available because we may have follow-up questions at a later time. Okay, this is what we will do. Given that we have 3 appellants, the order I just called, I will ask those same individuals to present their understanding of what happened on that day and whatever facts they would want to share with us. Ms. Tiffany Cortez.
Yes, hi.
Okay, afternoon.
Good. And you said you want me to state my case?
Yes, this is your opportunity to state your case.
Okay, perfect. So the only thing I can chime on, because I wasn't there the day of what happened. I only just received the phone call from my husband, and he was like literally like terrified. So I hear Detective Burner in the background just yelling, but I can't make out exactly what she's saying. So he's telling me like I think I might be going to jail. So I'm like, why? So
Miss Cortez, you received a violation notice and you submitted an appeal. So what would be helpful to hear from you is why you made that appeal. What is it about the action that was taken that you are appealing?
Oh, because I know for a fact it wasn't dumping. So me and my husband.
How do you know that?
Because me and my husband, we don't even have to pay for our dumps. All our customers pays for their dumps. We literally just charge them $500, and all we have to do is just provide our dump truck there.
Okay.
So we do have receipts that I did obtain from my customer.
Okay.
But my husband
Ms. Cortez, wait. Before you move on now, because you want to make certain that it's relevant.
Okay.
Did those receipts for that particular day, did you submit those as evidence?
As in, like what, right now?
When you submitted your appeal, this was your opportunity to make your case. If
no,
you
I
have
didn't know
evidence,
I didn't
listen
know
to
I had
me, ma'am. Listen to me. Only one of us can speak at a time.
Okay.
This is your appeal. If
Okay.
if you feel you have evidence to prove your point, then you should have submitted it as evidence when you submitted your appeal. You didn't do that?
No, I didn't know that, but I do have them. Yes.
But you didn't submit them earlier to give the opportunity for the other side to review them and respond to them.
Sir, to be with all due respect, I'm not sure how this case stuff go. I don't.
But that's why lawyers are important.
Right. And I did try to obtain one. So again, he didn't know, nor did we know that he needed to be present for this, because that's why when I did the appeal, I made sure I did ask him how much was supposed to charge me, and I did want him to be present on it. But once I provided him with the evidence and he knew what was going on, he said, "Oh, I'm confident you guys can handle this, and you may not need me." So I never was told that we have to have a lawyer to represent.
I'm not saying to you today that you must have a lawyer. I'm just saying to you there are certain rules that you have to follow, and information that if you want to make your point that is important to have in advance, because the information that you receive asks that you submit all your paperwork and stuff in advance of the hearing. That's all I'm saying. So if you didn't read it or understand it, then maybe a lawyer would have been good for you. But that's your choice. You made a decision. That's your choice. Okay, is there anything else you want to share with us? If not, I'll move on to the next person.
So is the evidence, so being so that it wasn't, the receipts wasn't handed in when I did the appeals,
show me what, do you have anything you can share on your from your phone yes. Okay, we're gonna allow you to share your screen.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson, wait, ma'am. Wait. Mr. Johnson, do you have any objection to her sharing her screen?
I don't have any objection to her sharing her screen. I would question though, there may be objections that can be made to the documents. I don't know what she's going to show.
Okay, so let's do this. We'll reserve any objections you have until she presents the documents, and we'll determine if they're relevant or not.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Cortez, what documents do you have you want to share with us?
The 2 receipts. If I would have known, because I would have got a whole bunch more, but I only just got the ones from that day and the day of it, and then the next day as well.
Okay, let's show us what you have.
Okay. Let me see how I can share my screen. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Let me see. Do you know how? Okay, share screen. Let me know if you can see it.
We don't see anything yet.
What about now?
Yes, you'll have to focus in so we can read it though, and tell us what this document says.
So this is the dump yard right here. It's at 4300 Rising Sun Ave. Sorry, 4300 Sun Ave. This date is 9/28/2022.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on before you move forward. 9/28/2022.
Yes.
Okay, now what does that prove?
And then this shows the time, the yard, the charges that were paid from my customer. And then this is 27. So this is the day of. So she claimed, well, I don't remember if she said a time, but this dump shows that they were in the yard by 9:31. 9:31, they were taking the, this is the day of, this is 9/27/2022.
Okay.
This for the amount of $304 that were paid to them. They were out by 9:47. And then so at 9:31, and then this is 9:13. This is when she actually called me, which was September 27th as well, because I screenshotted it after I got off the phone with her. But so again had I told my husband, I kept begging him, like, do you think I can speak to her? Do you think I can speak to her? Just to kind of just break down to her that, miss, detective, we don't need to dump anything, because we don't even have to pay for our dumps. Our customer pays for the dumps. And had I would have known, I would have had a ton of other receipts that because this guy, he's been in business for years, and he has a ton of receipts that I could have definitely provided today. And that's the same thing that I had told her on the phone.
Okay, Ms. Cortez, you're in business, correct?
Yes.
The outcome of this matter or any other matter will have an impact on your business, correct?
Yes.
Is there any reason why, if you have this kind of data, that you or your lawyer didn't call the city lawyer and try to resolve this before it came to an appeal hearing?
So honestly, I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm gonna hit stop sharing. Is that okay? Because if
Well, wait,
Sure.
I-
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, you have something? But I want a response then, Mr. Johnson, then you'll go, okay?
okay, yeah.
Ms. Cortez?
yes,
Yeah, can you answer my question?
yes. Oh, so you said so. Honestly, sorry, stuff keep popping up. Honestly, I do not know. I just thought I thought I did everything I was supposed to do, and that was a pilot. And then I was waiting for a pill date, which we had recently just got.
Well, you
And
said that was a pilot. I'm not sure I understood that word you just used.
a pill, the violation.
Okay.
So they sent in the violation, and then it says the pilot. So I went down there and I appealed it. And then just recently, I just got an answer back where they
Okay.
when the Detective Berner called and I allowed her to speak, and she went on and told me everything that was going on. And then I asked her that one question. I said, Detective Berner, did you actually see them dumping? And then she comes out and say, well, I don't have to tell that to you. I said, well,
Okay.
why not, Detective Berner? I said, you just explained everything else that happened to me during that. Oh, because it's a pending investigation. So I don't have to tell you that. I said, well, Detective Berner, I said, had. So she started to speak and she told me, shush. I said, hold on. Detective Berner. I said, because you called my phone. So I said, I allowed you to speak. So allow me to speak. Oh, I don't have to. I said, because if
Okay, Ms. Cortez, okay. I think you've made your point, okay?
Can I?
Yes, Mr.
Can
Johnson?
I ask the witness, Ms. Cortez, could you share that document one more time, please?
Sure, of course.
And
Sorry, let me go back to share it. I'm sharing my screen now. Let me know when you can see.
okay,
Whenever you're ready. It's up.
it's not on our screen yet.
Oh, you can't see it?
No.
Hold on. Let me hit share again. Screen. I think I gotta wait for the countdown. Just let me know if you can see.
Not
Can't
yet.
see.
You can see?
Not yet.
Oh gosh. I'm hitting share, screen, Zoom, start broadcast. Okay, I had to hit start broadcast. All right, here. It should be ready now. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
can
here.
you scroll? Can you blow it up? Because can you
Sure.
point to anything on that document that connects it to your company?
White, black dump. This is how they do it. This is how they do it. This is how they do it. Even if I need to go as far as going back to the specific location to get run back cameras, I'm completely okay with doing it.
So Richard S. Burns and Company, that's a scrap or
dump yard.
recycling facility, right? Where they take in construction debris, correct?
And where we go when we dump all our dumps at 4300.
And is this a receipt they give to the person present with the material?
With the dump truck, yes.
Okay. So for instance, if Mr. Cortez drove the truck there, is this something they would have given him after depositing the materials?
Yeah, so they weigh you coming in, to see your before weight, and then you go dump it, and then you come back out, they weigh you. That's how they're able to charge you for what you're dumping.
But you don't ever actually pay them.
No, they get paid. You see the Visa ending in 3063, and that is my customer's debit card. And if you need me to get documentation for that, I will do that.
Okay. Now, your business though, Jill of All Trades, that's just you guys doing the clear outs with that truck, correct?
Yes, I just take my dump truck to them. They pile up whatever they're going to pile up there, and either my husband or one of their employees drive it to the dump yard.
So you do that pretty much every day at different locations throughout the city, is that right?
When they need us.
So if we went back to those pictures, like from 9/18 that was captured with the load of debris, or as we saw in Exhibit C199, you'd have dump receipts for all of those loads, correct?
Yes, yes, I'm confident that we do. Yes, definitely. I can reach back out to my customer.
So
and
if
get them-
that's correct, and that's my last question about this record. I'm gonna ask you, what were they doing parked by the side of the road with the load coming out?
So I was told this is what my husband told me. I was told that somebody was pointing at their trunk. They went and got coffee. Actually, she said that it was a picture of our truck near 95 going to 95. The actual dump place, I mean not dump place, the actual house that they were what is it called? Breaking
And
down.
I'm gonna object if one of the other witnesses can elaborate on that. I think that would be appropriate.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Johnson, Miss Cortez, I just need you to focus your answer on the question itself. He asked,
Sure.
what were they doing? You went off into another direction.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna object to hearsay if it's something somebody else told her. I kind of would rather hear it from them.
Okay,
so
that's fine.
we'll do that. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Cortez, we're going to move on to the next witness.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Ivan Garcia, this is your opportunity to present your case. Tell us what you understand happened.
I don't know if y'all can see me because my screen is.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. Well, on my behalf, we was driving. The driver, Carlos, had told me, look, he pulled over because somebody had flagged him. He said, go check the back. So I got out, checked the back. As we was checking the back, after we got done checking the back, as I went to the front, walked back into the front, the detective was talking to Carlos. Once he saw me get in the truck, she went around my side and said that you also gonna get fined and gonna be arrested for dumping. I said, well, we didn't dump anything. Me myself just stood quiet because I know we ain't do nothing wrong. She asked for my ID and I gave her my ID.
Can I
Sure,
ask
please.
a question? All right.
Yes.
Mr. Garcia, so that morning, where were you guys coming from?
We was coming. I don't remember. That's 2 years ago. I really don't remember.
So wait, but was it did you had just loaded up the truck with debris?
No. We was on our way to a site. That day we was on our way to the site. And
What site?
And I'm mistaken, the site was not too far from there, off from Tacony and Aramingo.
So that's where you're on your way to. Where were you coming from? You don't recall?
I don't recall.
And do you recall when the debris was put in the truck?
No, the debris was already in the truck.
So you picked up the truck, it was full of debris, and you were going to load it up with more debris?
Yeah, because that was normally when we do dumps, we do a full load dumps. We don't just throw away. We don't just dump little trash. We make sure the whole truck is fully loaded.
So you do a dump of the entire load.
Load.
Now on that, that's from more than one customer, right?
Normally, no. They might have been something there from a previous. Because now that I remember, he had picked me up. He had picked me up to go to the work site.
Okay. Is that close to your residence?
Yeah.
Where's your residence?
Oh, excuse me. My residence is 707 West Bristol Street.
So that site is on the way from your residence at Bristol Street to the location you were going in Tacony.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, someone had alleged that you were flagged down. Now, who was that?
I don't know who it was.
And what do you mean flagged down?
That's what the Carlos had said. Yo, somebody flagged me down and pointing at the back. Like they was
So
pointing
you
at the
didn't
back
you
of the
didn't see
truck.
anyone Carlos was driving, he saw?
No,
You don't recall any of that,
no.
but you just went and pushed the button on the dump.
What button? I didn't push no button. I was
Well,
checking
how did the dump truck go into a vertical position?
it wasn't. It might have had he probably had it lifted up, or it might have been lifted, but it wasn't in no vertical position. The button is on. Order for him to push the button to rise up, he needs to be out the truck.
What do you mean by that?
He has to be out the truck, or order for you to hit the button. The button is inside the vehicle. It's not outside the vehicle.
Well, there was one of you inside the vehicle and one of you outside the vehicle, according to the testimony, right?
Yes, but I was out here. He had to go check the back. So when we checked the back, we had checked everything out to make sure everything was good, but everything was good. When we was on our way back, I was on my way back into the truck, and she was on the side of the driver's side.
All right, I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Carlos Garcia, would you now want to share us your understanding of what happened?
Carlos Cortez.
My apologies, sir. Mr. Carlos
Yeah.
Cortez.
So I'm gonna give you the God honest truth. So starting from the beginning, I picked him up from, I don't know where he lives, but allegedly he just said Bristol. So as I'm coming down that road that she allegedly said she's seen us at, somebody pointed. They didn't flag, they pointed at the back of the truck. I don't know if it was a compliment. I don't know what it was. As the person that's driving the truck, he's a worker. He actually works for the other guy. So the other guy that provides and pays for the dump, the guy that you was talking to, Ivan, he works for him. So I pointed at the back. I said, "Can you go check it out?" He went to the back, checked it out, right? So Miss, I don't even know her name, Miss Detective, she pulls up aggressive. All that sweet stuff she was just saying, it was not that. She pulled up, cut the truck off, aggressive, jumped out the car with a gun in her hand. Yes, aggressive. Didn't even give me a time to get registration because she was talking about going to jail. Yeah, y'all going to jail. Sorry that cops not worried about homicides. We more worried about short dump order. So at this point, I'm nervous. I'm like, damn, what's going on? So once she realized I'm hands up in this position, she puts her gun back in it. She see everything calm and collective. She started asking me to provide stuff. But the whole time she's asking me to provide stuff, she's aggressive. Oh, y'all both going to jail, provide your ID. So the whole time, everything is just tension. And I'm just like in the smack look. So I give her information, remind you, we run a mechanic and a body shop. I had no reason to dump trash on the floor. Like my wife said, they provide the dump. They pay for the dump. All we do is drop it off at a site. So what happened was after everything was said and done and she said she was off duty. She said, I'm off duty. I don't even work. I'm off duty. I'm in a rush to get to work. I'm running late to work. She said, I'm gonna get a citation. I'm putting a bench warrant out on her. She didn't provide me with no ticket, nothing. So everything that she pulled up on that sheet, she didn't provide me with anything. She took her IDs, whatever she did, whether she took illegal pictures, whatever she did, she went ahead about her day. She didn't provide me with no ticket, no receipt, nothing. She didn't provide me with nothing. So with that being said, I called and in the mix of her being aggressive with me, I'm like, damn, like I ain't even do nothing. So I called my wife, like, listen, this woman is threatening me. I might be going to jail. So I'm trying to advise my wife, listen, you might got to come get the dump truck because this lady's talking about locking us up for no apparent reason. We didn't dump nothing. The debris is still in the truck. She said that she seen him press the button and she walked around and then made him come from the back of the truck. That's false. Because the whole time she was so aggressive with me, he actually he was so confused because he got in the truck. She started snapping and screaming at him, provide your ID, y'all going to jail. She said she seen him press the button in the back. The button is not even located in the back. The button is located behind the seat. So in order for me to press the button, I had to get out of the vehicle. I have to see if it's an up, down position. So for her to even say that, now she might have seen me press the button up and down to see if anything was malfunctioning, but she didn't see us dump anything. She didn't see none of our debris that we had in there, because ain't no reason to do a half dump. We had bits of a bunch of big rocks. The job site was not even done. We don't have no reason to dump trash. We run multiple different businesses. So what happened was we went to internal affairs on her. This is how aggressive she was. I was so nervous. My pop is a retired cop. I got no reason to lie. My pop worked at the 35th district. She said she worked at the 35th district. My dad did too. He got plenty of medals in there. Same name. He's a retired cop. He lives in Miami. Make a long story short, I go to internal affairs on her. Internal affairs tell us she might be in trouble.
I'm going to object to any other.
Mr.
comments
Mr.
on
Cortez,
that.
there's an objection which will be sustained. I'd
Not
like you to
relevant.
keep your testimony to specifically the events of that day. Okay?
That day, I went to internal affairs on her. The internal affairs said if she went
Objection,
into some
objection.
Mr. Cortez, Mr. Cortez, I just asked you to move on. You made your point that you submitted a complaint. That's noted in the record. Move on to whatever else you want to share with us.
So moving forward, remind you the job site that she's talking about is literally if that's what she said, that's Pratt and Aramingo, right? Castor and Aramingo, if I'm not mistaken. The job site is literally on the other side of that. It's literally like 2 blocks away.
I don't think there's been any testimony as to the actual job site you were involved in. We asked Mr. Garcia that, but no one said that.
Right, that's understandable. She provided other
No,
job sites.
you didn't understand what I just said. I'm saying there's nothing in the record at the moment indicating which job site you were going to. Do you have a job site you want to share with us that you were headed to?
I don't recall that. Can I jump in there?
No, ma'am. You cannot you cannot jump in. You can't jump in.
All right, I'm sorry about that. I said to move forward, but I'm still able to state what I'm stating, right?
You can say whatever information in your defense, because keep in mind the 3 of you have separate. The 3 of you were cited. The 3 of you submitted separate appeals. And in order for us to determine whether your appeal is valid, you need to present us with evidence and testimony that supports your position. And so, do you have anything else to say that supports your position?
The evidence is that woman didn't even give us enough time to provide the correct information.
Listen, Mr. Cortez, this is Detective Berner. That's how you should address it.
Okay, sorry about that. Detective Berner didn't give us enough time to provide any registration, insurance, because she was so busy being aggressive, talking about sending us to jail.
But she testified that she did have that stuff. She wrote it all down. You gave it to her.
Right, I gave her everything that was in the middle council.
Yeah, so you gave it to
I gave
her.
her everything that's in the middle council. She's moving so fast because allegedly she's saying she's late for work that she can't lock us up because this is not even her. This is not even her jurisdiction. This is not even her jurisdiction to do it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you have any cross-examination?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, before we move on, I would ask anyone else on the panel have any questions of either the appellants or Detective Berner?
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
For, Ms. Cortez?
Yes, sir.
No, Ms. Your wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm here.
I'm looking at your appeal form here. And it says on your appeal form, no dumping took place. And you testified that you wasn't there.
Yes, that's correct.
So how do you know no dumping took place?
Because we don't pay for. So
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you, not the company, not anyone else. I'm asking you. How do you know no dumping took place?
So I can't say that 100%.
Okay. My next question was.
Sure.
I'm trying to get a feel, because basically, I don't understand what your appeal is. I mean, I don't see what you have anything to do with this.
Oh, I didn't.
Excuse me.
Okay, sorry.
Mr. Chair, I would like to ask Mr. Garcia a question.
Yes, please.
Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Quick question for you. Why were you in the back?
I was checking out the gates and making sure everything was fine with the back of the truck.
Okay, so then I'm gonna move on to Mr. Cortez. I understand now why you said you was testing the truck up and down because he was checking the gates. I think he called it the gates.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the reason why you made it go up and down before you pulled off.
I didn't even make it go up and down. I just did a up and when you press the button, tap tap, just to make sure everything is secure.
Okay, but I'm just double checking on what you said. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that would then bring me on. Y'all were talking about how y'all dumped and all of that, and I looked on your ticket. You was given a ticket at 8:02 a.m. and you got to the dump yard at 9:31. Right, and so I'm trying to get a clearer understanding. What you said you didn't have another job, but you went to the yard with a load.
I said I didn't have another job.
Yeah, because you said you was only around the corner. You just picked up Mr. Garcia. And there was nothing, and I think you stated there was nothing on your truck.
No, I think you misunderstood what I said.
Okay.
So I'll clarify that for you. So
Okay,
I had a little bit of debris in there. So the complete truck wasn't filled at all. But the job site was at least like no more than 2 blocks away. So I provide them with a service where as though I'm not leaving until they're satisfied with the filling up the truck. So I'm not about to charge them for that little bit of debris that she had pictures of. What am I going to charge these people? That's unfair. I'm going to charge them for a little couple rocks of debris. That wouldn't even make no sense.
So the only reason why that you was even there in the running lane is because you wanted to make sure that everything was fine because somebody had pointed to it, correct?
Correct.
Okay, no more questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Cortez, does Mr. Garcia work with you for that company?
No, he actually works for the guy that we provide the truck to.
And what guy is that?
I don't know his real name. He might be able to identify his real name, but me personally, I don't know his real name because I met him through a third party, and he builds houses and fix houses and
Okay,
repairs.
understood. Miss Tiffany Cortez, if you'd unmute, please.
Yes, I'm here.
Does Mr. Garcia work for your company?
No.
Which company were you under contract with to pick up?
So it's not even that we were with his company. It was more so just a person. So somebody that we know, which is his boss.
Okay, so what does that receipt have to do with that person?
Because what they do is they pay for the contract between me and him verbally is that we just come provide our dump truck there. Him and Ivan, their guys, pile up the dump truck, and either my husband or Ivan takes the truck to the dump yard, and we take the boss's credit card to the dump yard, and it literally comes off of his card.
So you had this person's credit card with you that day?
He gives us his card, whoever he gets his money from, they have it on a business card. And I don't know if it's in his business name or his personal name. I don't know, because he gives us the card. Whether it's me, whether it's my husband, or whether it's Ivan. We're using the main ones that if we do go do the dumps, he will give us their card, and that's how we pay for it.
Okay, so Mr. Garcia was in your truck, and that was your truck, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He was in your truck because he had been picked up at a job site. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I don't know what him and my husband talked about that day.
Okay, well, just for a moment, Mr. Carlos Cortez, did you pick up Mr. Garcia at a job site?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, which job site was that?
I don't have the correct address because it was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I know that it wasn't that far from where it was at.
Okay, let me finish. You've answered my question. You've answered my question. Where were you headed after that job site? Where were you headed?
We was headed. Where was we headed? We got some coffee and we was headed to the actual job site.
Oh no! Well, I thought you headed to a different job site or back to the other job site.
It's no different job site. the same job site that we're talking about is the same job site that that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for people to show up so we can start dumping whatever they got to dump into the truck.
Okay, so you picked up Mr. Garcia at a job site, you left,
Right.
and then returned to that same job site.
No, I picked. Repeat that one more time before I.
You picked up Mr. Ivan Garcia at your job site, and then you left, and then you returned to that same job site.
I picked Garcia up and took him to the job site. But before we got to the job site, we got some coffee on the next block. It's
Where
a
did you
Wawa
pick up Mr. Garcia?
from his house, from his wherever he lives. I don't know his address.
Okay, so the debris in the truck was there partially filled from a different job site.
No,
Yes,
it's that's
Ma'am, you cannot jump in.
oh,
Please.
okay.
It was debris that the truck wasn't completed with the dump. So
Okay.
it was debris that was just sitting in there that it was going to get added to his debris. That's all it was.
So and it was two different customers paying you for the same load.
No, one person was paying for that. One person was paying for everything.
Okay, and so the debris that was already in there, was that from his job site or a different company's job site?
That was debris that just been sitting in there. It's just been sitting in there.
Okay, so whoever was paying for it that day paid for his stuff plus somebody else's.
Ivan Boss was going to pay for everything.
Okay, all right, thank you. Miss Tiffany Cortez, just one additional thing for you. The receipt that you showed us, anything on that receipt connects that receipt to your company?
No, because they don't, it just say white. The only thing is it says white, black dump. And like I said, I'm more than happy to go back there. And
No,
try
no,
to see-
it's okay. Just want to ask that question. That now, because that's something you may want to consider going forward into the future. But secondly, with this issue of the registration numbers on the vehicle not matching, what was that? Why is that? Why did that occur?
So what happened is my husband was literally so terrified that he ended up giving her the wrong one by mistake. He
Okay.
gave her the wrong one by mistake. And I ended up finding that out once I realized once
Okay.
I realized I told him to take some pictures when I went to internal affairs. And
Okay.
I'm just like, he ended up giving her, she was moving so fast, she ain't even had the right one. He was
Okay.
so scared.
You answered my question. You've answered my
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, can I just follow that
Yes,
up?
please.
Just to clarify, why would that plate number have different VIN information on a different reg card?
Because what we do is I had a 2001, as you guys seen, GMC, which we did detailing out of, and I used that same plate from the GMC to put on the dump truck. So that's why you seen the same plate number for both registrations, because we no longer.
But that is only one valid registration that's on the dump truck now. Is that right?
Yes, it's only one valid.
Did you get rid of that prior vehicle?
Yes, I did, and that's why I was able to transfer the plate over to the dump truck.
Nothing.
Okay. Okay, thank you. What we're going to do is I will invite each of you, if you have any closing argument, Mr. Johnson will complete the closing argument, after which we will take an executive session and come back and vote. So what that means is that any of the three appellants, if you have any final comments you'd like to make that you think will be helpful information for us to consider as we decide what to do in this matter. I'll start with Ms. Cortez.
Yes, I just wanted to jump in and say, because it was a while back, so they probably don't remember everything, but I do remember what my husband was telling me, that when she was threatening him, she also said, y'all lucky I don't have my partner here, or I would have been taking both of y'all in right now. So it was a lot of threats that was coming in. Like I said, when I was on the phone with my husband, I couldn't make out exactly what she was saying, but he was like literally like terrified, and I was begging him. I was like, can I please just talk to her? That way I can explain. Sorry, somebody's calling my phone. That way I can explain to her right then and there that, hey, detective, we don't need to dump. Is it possible if I can just show you? Is it possible if I can just show you any receipt? That's what I really wanted to say that day. And my husband, this is what and I'm usually the one that do the talking for us, because my husband was there. But and literally he told me that day. He said, babe, honestly, the way she's acting right now, I don't even think that's the best thing right now.
Okay.
So,
all right, Ms. Cortez, we'd ask you not to repeat all that you said before, but we appreciate the comments that you made. Mr. Garcia, anything you want to add? before we move on to Mr. Carlos Cortez?
I'm just in shock of everything because like literally we didn't dump no trash, and when I received this letter of $5,000, I'm just trying to get this case sorted out. I mean, because I can't afford to pay no $5,000 on a fine or something that I didn't do.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Carlos Cortez.
What are we providing at this moment right now?
This is closing argument. So what that means is that each of the appellants, as well as the city's attorney, has an opportunity to share any final comments that you think we should consider before we vote.
Okay. Why is it that she doesn't want to talk about when we went to Internal Affairs and her wrong action?
Mr. Cortez, how is that helpful to your defense in terms of this case?
Because she was abusing her authority at that point, and she's making it seem like she wasn't.
So how does that help us make a decision in terms of whether you dumped or not?
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I apologize. I just wanted to state that.
Well, you're
And-
saying it, but it's not helping you. That's
Right,
fine.
right.
I'm trying to be helpful to you, sir, but you aren't helping
Yeah,
yourself.
Yeah, I apologize. In our defense, we don't got no reason to dump. We ain't got no our
Okay.
customers pay for the dumps, and that's just it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson, any final argument before we take executive session?
Yes, just briefly, distinguished members of the board, this is a situation where Detective Berner, one of the primary detectives in the environmental crimes unit, was just doing her job, and she happened to come upon by happenstance a dump that was occurring, as she testified, in progress. Now, the fact that nothing actually left the truck only was because, as she testified, she stopped it from happening. There wouldn't be a dump receipt, perhaps, if Ms. Berner hadn't come upon them that day. Now, the only reason they can furnish that receipt was because nothing came out of the truck, because Detective Berner was there to intervene. So, the law has been strengthened with regard to illegal dumping in section 10.710 of the Philadelphia Code. It includes penalties that are fines not only for the people who are caught and found to have been engaged in illegal dumping activity, but also the owners of the vehicles used. That's the reason why here there was a violation written for the people who were inside the vehicle with the materials, as well as the owner of the vehicle, Jill Ball Trades and Ms. Cortez. So there were a few inconsistencies with regard to the testimony of the appellants. The city would argue that Detective Berner's testimony was credible and that the city should be affirmed.
Right, thank you very much. We will take a
Sorry, can I jump right?
no, ma'am.
He left
ma'am.
with that state.
Miss Cortez, Miss Cortez,
Yes.
I explained what we were going to do and how we would do it. And so you had an opportunity to share it with us. Is there new information that we did not hear before?
No, it's not. It's not new
Okay, if
information.
it's not new information, then we don't want to cloud the record with repeated information. Understood? That's why I said you had an opportunity, all three of you did, to put on your case. And so what we're going to do now is take executive session for about 5 minutes. Then we will come back and vote. Court reporter. Thank you very much, Ms. Insman. My apologies. We're back on the record. Okay, we're at this point now where we will call the vote on these three matters. Number 22, 23, and 24. So what I'd like to do, Mr. Wade, is you would read each matter into the record, and then we will vote on each one separately. Before we do that, I got Mr. Johnson's present, and all of the appellants are, I don't see, yes, do see Mr. Carlos Cortez. Okay, everyone's here. All right, thank you.
We're calling case 22, hearing appeal ending 1126, 2200 Pratt Street, Carlos Cortez.
Okay. City affirm.
City affirmed.
Abstain.
Appeal sustained.
City affirm.
Okay, we have 3-2. Mr. Carlos Cortez, you've lost your appeal. Now you may appeal our decision, and if you need information as to how to do that, check with the administrator and they will give information that you would need if you need information. Thank you. We call the next matter.
Case 23, hearing appeal ending 1127, 2200 Pratt Street, Ivan Garcia.
City affirm.
Appeal sustained.
Appeal sustained.
Appeal sustained.
Appeal sustained.
Okay, Mr. Ivan Garcia, you won your appeal. Okay, read the next matter.
Case 24, hearing appeal ending 1128, 2200 Pratt Street, Tiffany Cortez.
City affirm.
Appeal sustained.
Appeal sustained.
Appeal sus-
Okay,
Appeal sustained.
okay, I didn't get Ms. Penn's vote.
I said appeal sustained for Ms.
Okay.
Cortez.
Okay, so in this instance, there's Mr. Cortez, the majority vote is appeal sustained, means you won your appeal. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your participation. Again, if you have a desire to appeal the decision of the board, you may do so. You can check with the administrator that will give information that you would need to do that. Have a good afternoon. Everyone's excused.
I'm sorry. How do we appeal it?
That information is, you can call the office and they will tell you how to do that. I would also recommend, ma'am, that you call your lawyer.
Yes, I just was texting him. He just got out of court, actually.
Okay, all right. Talk to your lawyer.
Okay, and then can I have the phone number for the office?
It's on the paperwork that you have.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, have a good day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Mr. Chair, there was a request to call case number 4.
Number 4.
Case 4, hearing appeal ending 4497, 6628 Lotus Road, Samira Richards Hammonds.
Okay, who's representing the city?
That would be me, Chairman Woodson, Melanie Nezich for the city of
Okay.
Philadelphia.
Samira Hammonds, ma'am, is that you? If you are, raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Okay, Ms. Nesich, do you have any witnesses?
Wait, excuse me. Excuse me. I asked if I could receive a continuance because it's 2:30 and my son gets out of school at 3 o'clock and I have to go to the main line to go pick him up. So I emailed the board administrator, Mr. Wade, and asked him if I could receive a courtesy continuance, if
Okay.
possible.
Ms. Nesich, do you have what's your response to that request?
I believe this is the first continuance requested by the appellant. The city has no objections to this if she has childcare needs.
Okay, alrighty. Based on that, your request will be granted for continuance. Keep in mind, ma'am, we don't like to do multiple continuances. So whenever your case is rescheduled, keep your whole day into the evening open.
I don't have any other child. I don't have anyone else to pick my child up.
Okay, but I'm just saying to you, we may not be able to accommodate you in the future. So, there's no way to know when the case will be called.
Do they all start in the afternoon?
Yes.
Your hearing date will be May 9th, if that helps.
Okay, so this is continued. Have a good afternoon.
You as well.
Okay, so do we have, yeah.
So case 25 just requested a breakout room. We'll put them in a breakout room and we can call case number 27.
Okay, all right, thank you. 27?
Yes, just give me one moment. Okay, case 27, hearing appeal ending 3428, 593 Carver Street. Patricia Clark.
Okay, Ms. Patricia Clark. If you could be stationary, ma'am, and unmute yourself. Ms. Nessich, is your witness available?
Yes, Chairman Woodson, I believe so. The city will be calling Francis Francesco, and I also have a request. May my witness from the previous matter be dismissed, Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Your witness for this matter, ask that person to identify himself so I can swear him in.
Mr. Francesco?
Yes, Francis J. Francesco Jr.
Okay, sir, may we see your video? You have to turn your
Do you see-
video on.
Do you see me? I have
No,
the-
we don't see you.
Uh-oh, really? Oh, okay, hold on. Wait a minute. What's going on? Wait,
Okay, Mr. Francesco, while you're doing that, I'm going to swear in the appellant. Ms. Patricia Clark, ma'am, would you raise your right hand?
Sure.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Okay, Mr. Francesco, it's back to you. Mr. Wade, any help you can provide?
I just sent him a prompt. I'll send
Okay.
it again.
this camera was on when I turned it on at the start of this hearing. And now all of a sudden.
Frank, do you see the little video button?
In the corner of the screen.
Yeah, you might want to just maybe hit stop and then start again. Try that.
Okay, hold on. Select
Sent the prompt again.
Wait.
Thank you, Mr. Wade.
Try to find those buttons. Stop and then start.
Bottom left is the camera icon. Just tap it.
Yeah, I'm tapping the camera icon and it's saying cannot start video. Please select another video camera in the settings. So,
Okay, let me do this. Ms. Nessich, do you recognize Mr. Francesco by his voice?
I do.
Can you testify to the fact that this is in fact your witness?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
This is Mr.
Mr. Francesco, we want you to continue to try to connect with us via video, but I want to get this started. So would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn?
okay,
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give today be the truth so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Now, so that we have a clean record, sir, I'd like you to be extra careful, listen closely so that you aren't speaking when someone else is speaking. And your attorney will give you a prompt as to when she needs you to respond to something. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Nessich?
Thank you. And just to check, Mr. Francesco, you can see the screen, correct?
I can see the screen. I can see
Okay.
you wearing the glasses.
That's me. Thank you.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, board members. This is regarding the matter of the appeal of 593 Carver Street. On May 5th, 2023, the Philadelphia Water Department performed an initial dye test at a cave-in at the property of 593 Carver. The sewer was pre-inspected and cleaned, and the CCTV unit was deployed to perform another dye test on July 13th, 2023. The results of the test indicated that the property had a defective lateral line in violation of the Philadelphia Code Section 13502. PWD issued a notice of plumbing defect July 13th, 2023, and a final notice of defect on July 26th, 2023. The deed lists Patricia Clark as owner of the property at 593 Carver as of July 7th, 2023. Ms. Clark filed an appeal to the notice of defect on August 9th, 2023. And as of the Water Department's most recent reinspection of February 7th, February 7th, 2024, no repairs have been made to the defective lateral and no permits have been issued to the property. The city would like to please call Mr. Francis Francesco as witness.
Yes, please.
Mr. Francesco, can you state and spell your name for the record?
Francis J. Francesco Jr., Francis J. Francesco.
Thank you. Thanks. And by whom are you employed?
I'm employed with the Philadelphia Water Department, flow control CCTV unit.
Okay. And how long have you been at PWD?
28 years.
28 years. And what are some of your job responsibilities? Just a few basic job responsibilities.
The current responsibility is supervisor of the CCTV unit. So I oversee all the TV crews that travel throughout the city, placing cameras into sewer pipes and TVing the pipes, putting them onto video files so that the city will have an assessment of the sewer condition.
Okay, thank you. And if it pleases the board, may I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Can you all see that?
Not yet.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mr. Francesco, I'm showing you a notice of plumbing defect. It's fair to say that you're familiar with the issuance of defect notices during your many years of experience
Yes.
with PWD, correct? Did you issue this NOD?
Not the specific copy. This is the typewritten copy that comes from customer service.
Mhm.
And
But
it's
you-
based, it's
sorry.
based on the copy that we place in at the door of the property.
Great, thank you. And you did review this NOD and other associated documents
Yes.
for 593 Carver?
Yes.
So this record is made by someone who has personal knowledge of the event or issue and records this information in the regular course of doing their job, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. I think that's all we need from here. I'm going to show you another document. This was previously marked as City Exhibit 2. Mr. Francesco, can you tell us what we're looking at now, just
What we
generally?
are looking at here is a CityWorks work order ticket. CityWorks is a software that the city uses to coordinate all of their job requests and findings.
Thank you. And this is a record that's made and kept in the ordinary course of our PWD business, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
This specific ticket speaks to a notice of defect that was issued.
Right. And if I may, I've highlighted a couple of dates. Could you read, is this large enough for you to read?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Uh,
So the
separate.
first initial date, can you read that out for us, the highlighted portion?
5/5/2023.
Okay, and we're just gonna scroll through and take a look at some other dates.
5/31/2023.
Mhm.
7/22/2023.
And what do these dates reflect for the reports? I mean,
They-
I guess, does that mean that the water department has visited the property?
Yes, they reflect when the jobs were started and finished.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll down to the summary. Down here. Is that legible?
Yes,
Okay, so is this showing multiple different dates and multiple different re-inspections that the city has made?
it's showing different dates, yes. Different re-inspections as well.
On May 31st, if I could draw your attention here, what happened?
On May 31st, it looks like on May 31st, one of our supervisors from sewer maintenance sent a crew out there to clean, well, actually to do a sewer pre-inspection. Okay, they cleaned the sewer and then they did a pre-inspection. That's what they do before they give it to us, to make sure that the sewer is clean enough for us to run a camera all the way through and get a total
Right.
inspection of the sewer line.
Right, and so they referred it to the CCTV unit, your unit, correct?
Yes,
And multiple properties were investigated that day, correct?
That is correct.
And does this trigger additional analysis by your unit?
Yeah, 4 or more defective properties trigger an investigation on the part of our collector systems engineering group to do further studies on the history of the pipe, history of the water mains, and anything else that may have gone on there that could be a cause of these problems.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to show you another document. This has been previously marked City 3. We're on page 7 of 10. Is this the report from that test that was performed?
It wasn't a report from the test that they did. This is a report from the test that we did. Our
Okay.
crew does the video, takes snapshots off the video, and everything gets entered into a report under a software program called Granite. And that's what this is. It's a Granite sewer inspection report with the sewer graphic and images of the different observations found during the inspection.
Right. And what do we see here on page 7? What is this showing
What
us?
we see there on page 7 is the result of a dye test that was done from the street cavity showing into the lateral, there's 2 laterals side by side, both at 591 and 593.
And should we look at page 8? What is this
Okay.
page showing us?
Page 8 shows the dye test that they did to confirm what properties these laterals are connected to. So they put the blue dye in 591. They're curbside vents on the sidewalk. So they're the curbside vent in front of 591. They put the blue dye in, and you see that coming out of the lateral on the left. And they put the red dye into 593, and you'll see that coming into the sewer through the lateral on the right.
This right here?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to show you some photos. Could you tell me what these photos are showing?
That's a
Oh.
photo of the sinkhole in front of the properties.
At 593 Carver?
Yeah, that looks like it was 593. I know that there was some changes over the years in the work in the landscaping of the properties.
Right. And this is associated with this CityWorks report. Could you just verify the date?
1/25/2024.
Okay. So this is a fair and accurate description of how the property looked on January 25th, 2024?
Yes.
That's City 4. I'm going to show you just a few more things, if I may. And this photo is from a more recent inspection, correct?
Yes.
These photos were shared with you?
Some of them were.
And is this
I
a
don't
fair
think
and
I saw
accurate-
this particular photo.
Okay, but would you say that this is a fair and accurate
Oh,
depiction?
yeah, it's the same area. Definitely same property.
Okay, and this was the most recent reinspection. Let's just do one more. This is City 6. Mr. Francesco, what are we looking at here?
Okay, what we're looking at here is a diagram of what the a combined, actually no, it's a combined. Okay, combined a street with a combined sewer system looks like. So you got A is the pipe showing that's the water main, and B is the combined sewer, or what they would say the sanitary and storm sewer.
Right, and in this
One
case,
sewer.
sir, if I could just ask, could you point out, well, like identify the lateral?
The lateral would be D.
Okay, and What is the danger, Mr. Francesco, of not having a properly functioning lateral?
If the lateral is broken, it'll do two things. One, it'll cause sewage to go into the ground and pollute the groundwater, the water table.
Mhm.
And even more serious would be if you have an open in the lateral and mud starts to feed into it, it causes ground erosion, which results in a cavity that could cause the street to cave in or the sidewalk, depending on what's washing away. And it could even result in somebody getting hurt.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Francesco, whose responsibility is it to maintain the lateral?
The homeowner is responsible for all the pipes leading right up to the sewer.
And that includes the lateral line?
That includes the lateral line.
Okay, and final question for you from me, sir. Was this notice of defect properly issued to 593 Carver Street?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The city would like to mark a move into evidence, city exhibits 1 through 6.
So moved. Okay,
We would ask that the board affirm this NOD.
okay. Do you have any additional witnesses, Ms. Nessich?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Patricia Clark, do you have any questions for the inspector who just testified?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Ms. Clark, the city has rested its case. What would you like to share with us to help us understand what's happening here?
Well, I would just like to say I just received a letter in the mail stating something about the lateral, and I was told that well, I've been threatened ever since that my water is going to be turned off, and I just didn't know what the lateral was, and also I don't understand if this is the situation and I'm paying my water bill like I've done for many years, why I have to be threatened about it and have the water company knocking on my door just because I didn't understand what was going on.
Okay. Have you hired a plumber to try to help you figure that out?
Well, I don't have any issues with my sewer nor my sewer line. Now, as far as Carver Street where I live, everyone on the block, every house on the block had to get this fixed. Now, the only issue that I had was they were doing it so fast that they were leaving the street a mess.
Okay, but Ms. Clark, but what I'm trying to understand, you received a violation notice. You're the homeowner, correct?
Right, and I also
Wait, no,
heard something
no,
about
ma'am,
some dates in May.
Ms.
I
Clark, wait a
wasn't
minute.
home.
Ms. Clark, listen to me
Yes.
now. You're the homeowner, correct?
Yes, I am.
So what did you
As of
let me
July.
okay, you answered my question, but I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. What have you done as the homeowner to determine what's needed to respond to the violation?
I haven't done anything but appealed it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Does any
But I also want to say that they showed the picture of the street of the hole that's in front of my property.
Yes.
And that didn't come from my property. That came from 591 because the whole block looks like that because of this lateral that the city say has to be changed. So the people come out, they fix this lateral and they leave it like that.
Okay. Each homeowner has to repair their own lateral.
Okay. But here's the thing. So when they repair this lateral, right, are they supposed to leave the street tore up like that?
Oh, eventually it gets paved. Eventually it should be paved, but that's not relevant to your situation. That's not relevant to the problem you have.
Well, they brought that whole outside of my property into this situation here, so that's why I'm talking about it, because that's you're trying to say that I have something to do with that, and I don't. That's supposed to be a fixed lateral there.
Yeah, the violation is that your lateral is defective and it must be repaired. So that's the violation we're contending with today. Does anyone else have any questions of Miss Patricia Clark? Does anyone else have any questions of Ms. Clark?
No, not at this time, Mr.
Okay, thank you. If there are no further questions of Ms. Clark, excuse me, Ms. Clark, never mind. We're going to vote on your matter in a moment. I will ask if you have any closing comments you'd like to make regarding the status of your case and what's needed. And likewise, I'll invite Ms. Nessich to make any closing arguments she may have. Ms. Clark, anything you want to share with us?
I just want to also mention, he said something about May 2023 and the letters that they sent out. I wasn't a homeowner until July. So all of that doesn't apply to me until July.
July of what year?
July of 23.
Okay. Okay. Who owned the house before then?
My uncle owned the home.
Were you living there?
He was living, yes. I was living.
Were
Yes,
you living
I was
at that address?
I was living here for about 2 years
Okay.
prior to owning the home.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Nessich, any final argument?
Yes, Chairman Woodson, just a brief closing statement. I'd just like to clarify for the board's benefit as well as the appellants. The water department was active on the street in May. However, the very first notice of defect was issued on July 13th, 2023, and the deed lists Patricia Clark as the owner of the property as of July 7th. So the very first notice of defect was issued after she became the owner of the property in question. Furthermore, Mr. Francesco credibly testified to the fact that defective laterals can cause cave-ins, and they are also dangerous to the neighborhood around the defective lateral, as well as to the environment at large. So the city would ask that the board affirm the notice of defect that was issued to Ms.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, we will, excuse me. We will poll the board on HA 2023-003428, 593 East Carver Street, Patricia Clark. City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Okay, the final vote is a unanimous city affirm. Ms. Clark, you have lost your appeal. You may appeal our decision if you wish. If you need information as to how you would do that, just call the number on the information to the administrator's office, and they will share that with you. Thank you very much for your participation. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You do the same. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Will I be receiving something in the mail? And is
Yes,
there
you will get a decision letter in the mail.
okay, is there amount of time that I get to solve this problem?
Immediately. But if you should
Okay.
call the office and talk to the inspectors and find out at the water department. You should try to work with them as closely as you can to get this resolved.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right,
very
thank
much.
you.
Okay, Ms. Nessich, you may be excused as well as your witness.
Thank you very much, Chairman Woodson.
Okay. Do we have anything else, Mr. Wade?
This is the final matter, case 25, hearing appeal ending 1455, 3000 South 61st Street, Christopher Gale.
Okay.
Hi,
Alrighty.
This is Chris Johnson from the city of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon. Is Mr. Christopher Gale present?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Gale, we'll need you in a stationary position while you're on the
Yes,
hearing.
I'm going inside right now, sir. Sorry about that.
Okay. Mr. Gale, if you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, do you have a witness?
The city has one witness in this matter. It's Detective Maureen Berner.
Okay. Detective Berner, would you kindly raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
I swear.
All right, thank you very much. You can place your hand down. Okay, Mr. Gale, when you are able to get stationary, we'll start.
Yes, I'm stationary. I just have to sit down now. I am stationed.
Okay, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, for the distinguished members of the board, this is an appeal of a notice of violation dated March 14th of 2023 related to an illegal dumping incident that occurred in the city of Philadelphia, 3000 South 61st Street, in which an investigation connected the incident to Mr. Christopher Gale. And to be clear, the evidence is going to show that there was an incident that was committed by individuals in a U-Haul truck that we can verify was rented to Mr. Gale at the time of the incident. And pursuant to the code section 10.710.3, the person who was in control of the vehicle and responsible for the vehicle, the renter of the U-Haul, should be appropriately cited for the violation. So at that point, I'm going to call Detective Berner.
Okay, thank you. Detective?
Detective Berner, just for the record, the witness has already been sworn.
Yes.
Detective Berner, can you tell the board where you're employed?
Again, Philadelphia Police Department Environmental Crime Unit, which is a division of major crimes.
And what does your position entail with that unit?
Primarily, we are investigating incidents of short dumping across the city. Our jurisdiction is the entire city.
And how long have you been a detective working on short dumping?
About 2 years.
And you were a detective before that as well?
Correct. I was 3 years at Special Victims Unit, 2 years at Northeast Detectives prior to that.
Okay. Have you had a chance to review the city's records with regard to the dumping incident at incident number 23-12-012970?
Yes.
And can you tell us, how did you first become aware of that incident?
So we were notified, there was a video from a Philadelphia Streets Department camera that's also tapped into the city of Philadelphia, that there was video of a U-Haul dumping at 3000 South 61st Street, which again is a known short dumping area. We pulled the video. We were able to obtain the number on the truck. It was a U-Haul truck, DC 3552F. The truck, prior to the truck pulling into the spot, it's clear. The truck pulls in. You can see people removing things from the vehicle. When the vehicle pulls away, there's a large dump left on the street, which we did go out and look at ourselves I believe it was the following day. We recovered the video, went to our local U-Haul where we have a relationship with. They were able to pull the rental agreement along with the driver's license that was provided to U-Haul. And it was in the name of Christopher Gale out of Brooklyn, New York. His driver's license was attached to it, and he was the responsible party for renting that U-Haul at that time.
Okay, I'm gonna ask to share my screen at this time, if it's okay with the board.
Yes, please.
I've numerous documents that are marked as City Exhibit C1. Right now, I'm sharing what's marked as page 1 of City Exhibit C1. Can you tell us what this document is, Detective Berner?
Yes, that is the first page of the NOV that was issued to Christopher Gale.
Okay. And how many items was he cited for, was the notice citing for dumping?
15, looks like. I'm sorry.
And it was, it looked like items.
One toilet, yes, again, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. It's fair to say these were items that were typical of a construction apartment clean out?
A clean out, yeah, that's what we typically call that, a clean out, where somebody either purchased a home, is moving out of a home, and they just need everything taken out, and they will come and remove it all. It's like 1-800 remove junk, typical.
And so as I read on the notice, 1 toilet, 2 benches, 2 trash bags, 3 carpets, 5 various furniture and cabinets, 1 couch, and 1 mattress. These are all discrete items that are punishable by a fine of $5,000 pursuant to the code. Is that correct?
Correct. And that's actually what we could see. We count what we can see. Obviously, there's usually more underneath, but we count what we can see. So we're a little bit generous there.
And this is a case where the city, via the streets department, had completed a cleanup of the spot?
Correct. Streets was out to clean that up, and they charged $1,900.26 for the cleanup.
Okay. Now, that notice was mailed by certified mail, is that right?
Yes. Yes.
And a copy of the bill with it?
Correct.
Okay. And at page 4, is this a notice to another, sorry, there were 2 addresses where the
Second address.
Yeah, this is the second address.
So the one address was what was listed as his address on the rental agreement. And then the second one is what's actually on his license. So we would surmise that the address that's on the rental agreement was word of mouth to U-Haul, whereas the second address was on his license.
So the first address, that Madison Avenue address, that was his record address according to his license?
Judge Eileen Cannon.
I'm sorry. What was that? I'm sorry, the second address, yes, the Vermont Street is listed on his contract, correct?
Okay.
And his license. I don't know, I'm sorry, let me stand by, I'm sorry. There is a second address that's actually, yes, it's located, the Madison address is a previous address for him on his driver's license.
Okay.
So
And the
this is
Vermont
listed
Street
address.
in Brooklyn was the one listed on the rental agreement.
Correct.
Okay. And that both of those were sent by certified mail. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And on page 7, which I'm showing right now, the notice was signed for and returned.
Yes, it was received.
Okay.
It looks, I don't know what the name is on the receiver, but
But
the
it was signed
signature on-
for at his Madison Avenue address.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if I go and I'm scrolling down to page 10, what is page 10?
This is the contract for the U-Haul.
Okay. And you reached out to U-Haul, and which U-Haul office are we talking about?
We physically use the one at 7500 Roosevelt Boulevard. It's probably the closest, and we have a working relationship with the manager there, who just prints us anytime we have an issue, because they have.
But he can get
so many-
any U-Haul contract from different offices as well?
Correct. So this was rented from the South Philadelphia U-Haul. Site
And that's
in
at
Oregon.
8 East Oregon Avenue?
Correct. It was rented in South Philly. Yes.
And so that's the document at page 10. And is there a number that's on the agreement that indicates the vehicle itself?
Yes, as I stated, DC 3552F, and as you can see, it was rented out February 14th at 2:09 p.m. and it was returned or due back at least the next day at 2:15. So they rented it for about 24 hours. And it says it was returned at 2:17. So yeah, they returned it on time.
And that DC 3552F, is that a license plate number? Or is that a serial number for the vehicle?
No, that's actually the number. There's the number for the trucks are on the top. it's in the front, it's in the rear, it's off to the side, and then there is a tag that's associated with it. From time to time, we can get both. Sometimes we can just get a tag. Sometimes we just get the number of the truck. But either way, they can pull the information of the renter from any of that information.
What's this document at page 11?
This is the credit card numbers, who paid for it. That's the credit card number associated. So from time to time, there'll be a cleanup cost. They'll bring it back dirty, or they don't bring it back, or they never bring it back, and they keep charging that card. Because we get them, they get stolen a lot, so they'll keep charging a credit card. So they keep a credit card on file with the renter to keep charging.
And if I go to page 12, what is this information?
That's the credit card.
That's the credit card information. Okay.
Yeah. That was just the same thing. And then if you keep going, there should be a copy of his license.
So page 13
is a copy of his, that was with his contract, correct? They made a copy of his license.
And it looks like this is a license. Does it indicate this was issued on 9/9 of 2021?
Correct.
Okay. And this is a driver's license, a photograph of the driver's license of Mr. Gale that was connected to the U-Haul rental?
Correct.
And you got this from U-Haul?
Correct. We were then able to pull his PennDOT information. We contacted New York, gave them his information, and that is where I got the second address, because there was in the second address associated with his driver's license number. But this is the license that was provided by U-Haul. This picture was provided by U-Haul, correct?
Now,
and that's the PennDOT.
Okay, so page 14 is a record from where?
PennDOT. Well, it would be New York's PennDOT. New York's driver's license. We usually email. We can run it through our system. If it doesn't come back, we have emails that we're able to contact people, give them names and date of birth, and they can pull us. But I believe this came through our portal system. So it's just the New York DMV information for him. And if you see at the bottom, primary contact address, there's a second address for him. So we send the NOVs, go to every listed, any possible address we can have for someone, we send them just to make sure we try to get contact.
And again, the address is 160 Madison Avenue in New York, New York.
Correct.
All right. How about page 15?
This is a photo of the dump, but that I physically took. So the camera caught it. It was at night. It was dark. We could see that clearly something had been dumped there. It's a significant amount, and it was, like I said, it was empty, and then it was there. They pulled up behind this tractor trailer, I guess, so that they would have some cover, and dumped directly behind it. This area, there's tractor trailers that line the block. We physically went out, and that is a photograph I took of the dump itself.
And apologies, I need to turn this down. Can you tell me at page 16, what does this photograph show?
So that's the other side of the dump. I'm on the other. So where you saw that truck, it was behind. I'm standing on the other side of the truck now.
And I'm
on the
indicating
sidewalk
with my cursor, you can see the toilet on top.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm now behind it. I'm just in a different location, but it's the same dump.
All right. I'm going to submit what's been marked as City Exhibit C1 into evidence at this time and request that it be admitted.
So admitted.
All right. At this point in time, I'm going to ask that I can share a little bit of the video. I don't want to play the entire video, but we can see where the truck pulls in when the activity is occurring.
How long is it, Mr. Johnson?
The video, I'm only going to show a few portions of it. It's quite a long video, like 16 minutes, but I'd only like to go to, I think, I like a couple of short clips.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Now, hold on, let me try. Okay. Can you see the video?
Mr. Johnson, before you start, would you kind of authenticate this video so we know when it
Yes.
was taken by whom?
Ms. Burner, Detective Burner, can you please tell us what I'm showing right now?
So this is one of our cameras, 12-016, and it is located at 3000 South 61st Street. It's actually filming 61st Street.
No, is this a camera that is on a city infrastructure?
Yes, it's a City of Philadelphia Streets Department camera.
And so the streets department, they monitor the cameras, and did they send you this video?
They do monitor the cameras. I cannot recall. I mean, I'm not sure. I think our real-time crime center, actually, according to my 48, it says RTCC. So that's usually that we requested through them. We may have located it ourselves. I don't know if streets department or not, but that's how we actually, so for the interest of evidence, whenever even streets department locates it, whoever locates the camera, sometimes we just have other our own real-time crime people will let us know, like, listen, it looks like somebody dumped here. We then send a request through real-time crime center, and they pull us the video and they log it into our evidence.com, so that the chain of evidence is good. We don't have anybody else.
So this was kept by the City of Philadelphia Police Department.
Yes, real-time crime center. Yes.
Wait, real-time crime center. Does that mean they detected this in real time, or you can request it after your investigation?
We have up to like 30 days to request video. So if we see something, we'll tag it up and then give them, if you notice to the right at the bottom, it says 2:15:23, 3:31, 59 a.m. So they'll send us the evidence through evidence.com. But I don't think Streets located this. I actually think Officer McNicholas behind me located this dump, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thanks. The location we're looking at on the still shot of this screen, is that the location where the dump occurred from your still photograph?
Correct. So where we are focused right now is the second picture. The dump, you will see it. You'll see the U-Haul pull up. Where I was standing is exactly where this camera is focused right now.
So you were standing when you took the photos pretty much underneath where the camera is right now?
Correct. I'm basically directly underneath the camera, yes. A little bit back.
Okay. And so can you describe what's on this view, on this still of this camera right at the 00 mark of the film?
There's a tiny bit of like a box, maybe some little bit of regular trash, but nothing. It's clear. The sidewalk's clear and the street is clear in between these two trucks.
Is any U-Haul truck visible?
No.
So I'm gonna scroll to the spot that is timestamp 145 of the video. Okay, I'm gonna let it play here. What can we see now at what timestamp 146?
So a U-Haul is backed into the position. As you can see, you can make out at the top of the vehicle the number of the vehicle, which is the DC 3552F. Once we find these, we zoom in and we make sure that we have the right number. We'll do several different things for it.
So
as you can see, that's the number.
Would you say that's the truck for which we provided the rental agreement?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to go to the timestamp 519 of the video. Okay, I'm letting it play. It's at 5:11. Okay, can you please describe for us what's happening on the screen?
So as you can see, the rear of the truck is opening. You actually see the lifting of the truck. The lights are on and the back of that truck is now open at the location of where the dump is located.
So we just watched them open the truck. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Okay. I am gonna scroll to 7:05 of the video. Okay, I'm letting it play at 7 minutes in now. Detective Berner, can you please tell us what's going on from what we can see?
Sorry, it's frozen. The individuals there's individuals removing and throwing to the right. You can see this person's got a hood on, and there's items being tossed to the side.
And if the board wants to replay any of these portions, please interrupt.
Is that the last?
No, I'm gonna go toward the end now.
Okay.
Because there's about 5 more instances where you can see that view.
Okay.
But I don't think they really elicit any additional probative value. But
If there's one that shows more action, that would be helpful.
yes. 8:54. Okay. I'm letting it play. It's at 8:45. Detective Berner, can you tell us what's going on the video? Detective?
There's items. Yes, there's items being thrown.
All right. And I'm gonna go to 12:30.
Detective Brown, I'm just curious, does that camera swivel or something? Because that focuses in and out. It's just, I'm trying to follow
Yeah,
it.
so our cameras do this. A lot of them, they naturally turn on their own to catch, you know, everything around it full circle. So that can make our investigations a little bit more difficult because if something comes very quickly, but in instances where like they're there for a long time, it makes it a little bit easier to actually see what's going on in the middle of it. But yes, a lot of our cameras do this across the city. They just every 15 seconds or so
Understood.
swivel. Mm. Who, me?
So here, can you see what's going on?
Yes. So right now it's because of the, but there is somebody in. When it's clear, you can see there's somebody inside the vehicle throwing things. When you first pulled that up, you could see it.
Yeah, it for the record, is it fair to say that the camera twists away to a different angle, a different view after about 10 seconds?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to 14:17. And can you tell us what's going on in the video now?
You can see right there the person, and it looks like a gray hoodie. That white, that is the toilet. That white piece
He
of
has it propped on the edge of the truck, it looks like.
that is the toilet that you saw at the top of the dump from my previous pictures.
Okay. And now finally, I'm gonna go to the end. It's about 16:05 or so. And is it fair to say the toilet is now in view outside of the truck?
Yes.
Okay. And the door of the truck is closed?
Yes.
And after that, they drove away, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna ask that the video portions be marked as City Exhibit C2 and be admitted to the record at this time.
So admitted.
And just to be clear, Detective Berner, what was the time of the portion of the video? What was the date and time that occurred?
It was February 15th, 2023, which was a Wednesday at 3:32 a.m. And we had the video till 3:49 a.m.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing further at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, just want to check something here. Okay, Mr. Gale, do you have any cross-examination questions for the detective? Mr. Gale? Do you have any
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry.
cross-examination?
My mic was muted and my camera was off. If you can see in the video,
Mr. Gale, you're moving again. Mr. Gale, I've asked you to be stationary.
I'm sorry. Don't kill me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I move a lot when I'm on the phone. But as you can see in the video, I always do that. Either this or
Mr. Gale, do you have any questions for the detective?
No, but can
Okay,
I?
thank
can
you.
I
Not
share-
yet. Not yet. I just need you to know if you have any cross-examination. Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you have any other witnesses?
The city has nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Gale, is your opportunity to share your understanding of what happened.
My understanding of what happened was, if you can look and rewind the video back again, you could clearly see that was not me in the video that dumped any trash.
Okay. All right, that's not you weren't not the person dumping the trash.
No, sir, I was not. I was
Okay.
not. Yes,
Okay.
I was the person that put the U-Haul in my name and it was returned on time, but I was not responsible for the dumping of that trash
Okay.
at all. I had no prior acknowledgement of the trash that was going to be dumped at all. So when the letter came, because I have the letter right here. So when the letter came to my house in New York saying that I dumped trash, I had no acknowledgement of this at all whatsoever.
Okay. You had no knowledge of the trash being dumped.
At all.
Okay.
All. No knowledge at all.
Okay. All right. Mr. Johnson, you have any questions?
I do. I have a number of questions for Mr. Gale.
Okay.
Mr. Gale, so you're saying you rented that U-Haul, is that correct?
Yeah. So I got the U-Haul and I rented it, but I did not dump the trash.
So isn't it true that we just had a conversation 10 minutes ago where you said you were not in Philadelphia, correct?
Yes.
So you were lying,
Yeah.
isn't that right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Now, you rented the truck. Are you saying other people were using it?
Yes.
Who?
It was I don't know his full name, but I know me and him, he called me down to do a job. I came down to do a job.
What job? What job?
It was like a construction job.
You work construction in Philadelphia, but you live in New York.
Yeah, it was just a quick job. It was like $300. I was like, all right, cool. So let me just come down, do this quick little job, and then come back to New York.
Okay. What was that job? What was the location?
The location, I'm not sure. He just told me to come, and I showed up, and we cleared the house. We put the stuff in the back of the truck, and afterwards, he said that he was going to return the truck the following day. I was like, all right, cool. And then nothing else was said after that. The truck was returned on time. And then that's when I got this notice in the mail
So
stating that
what's the name of this person you're talking about?
His name is Jamor.
Jamal?
Jamor.
Like Jamar, is that correct?
Yes.
What's his last name?
I don't know his last name. I
How'd
met him
you know
through I met him through social media.
You met him
And-
through social media.
Yeah. Instagram. And I seen that he owned he did construction in Philly. Me and him, we spoke a little bit. And then I drove down because he said he had a job for me. It was a cash job. I got the cash afterwards. And then I left, and once I left Philly to come back to New York, he said he was going to return the truck the next day, which he did, but I had no acknowledgement of him dumping any trash, like I said, until the letter came in the mail.
What's his phone number?
I don't have his phone number.
What's his address?
I met him through social media.
How many times have you worked with Jamar?
Once. That was the first and the only time.
Okay. All right, I have nothing further.
No, I understand. I understand that I am in the wrong because the U-Haul was registered in my name. I take full responsibility of that. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I'm not. I take full responsibility of that because since my name was on the U-Haul, it's being tracked back to me. And that's the reason why I'm in the situation that I'm in right now.
So why did you appeal the citation?
Because I didn't dump the trash.
Okay.
Can
All
you
right.
just
I
one
have a
follow up?
question, Mr. Chair.
Okay, well, wait a minute, Mr. Washington. Mr. Johnson has a follow-up, then we'll go to you, okay?
What's Jamar's Instagram handle?
I don't even know that. He changed it. I don't know it.
Does he have a company?
No, he just works off the books.
Do
So
you-
pretty much,
you
so
know him?
and I'm sorry. So yeah, to be honest with you, I got scammed. I pretty much got scammed because yeah, he paid me $300 for the job, but now I'm left with this maybe up to $5,000 bill hanging over my head that I can't afford right now. So yeah, I put myself in a jam. I trusted somebody that I wasn't supposed that I hardly knew. He seemed like a good dude. I trusted him. He paid me $300, and then he took the U-Haul in my name. He did something he wasn't supposed to do, and now I'm left with to suffer the repercussions of it. And I'm just being honest.
Okay.
I take responsibility for it.
Okay. Mr. Washington, you have a question?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, Mr. Gay.
Good afternoon.
My question real quick is, you said that when you left the guy, there was debris in the truck, and he was going to turn the truck in the next day. What did he say he was going to do with the debris that was in the truck?
He didn't say. No. He said that he knew he said he was going to take the trash to a junkyard, or I don't know how Philadelphia does it. I know you guys have like actual trash places that you could pay like $150 to or something like that to dump the trash there. So I was assuming that he was going to do that, and clearly he didn't. So, and yeah, like I said, I got stuck with it.
Okay, and just to be clear, that right now you're looking at almost $75,000, not $5,000. And
7,500. Yeah, 7,500.
It says 75,000.
75,000. Okay.
75,000.
$5,000 for each individual dump.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
since you didn't ask him, what was he going to do with the debris in the truck? Because you assumed that he was going to take it to a recycling center, let's call it. What time of day was this?
This was in the afternoon, early afternoon. That he said he was gonna dump it there. He was gonna take it there.
Well, the last time you saw him?
The last time I saw him was that day that we did the job. That was February 15th.
What time?
In the early afternoon, probably like around probably like this time, probably like noon or something like that.
Okay, so right after that, you left Philadelphia.
Yes.
You drove, you catch a train. How did you leave Philly?
Drove.
You drove?
Yes, sir.
No more questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Gale, did you use your personal financial records, such as your credit card, to secure the U-Haul?
Yes, sir.
And what would have been your responsibility if the individual had not returned it or had caused damage to it?
I would have had to pay the fine. I would have to pay the fees.
And this is someone whom you do not know, you don't have a last name or address, and you gave them your credit card?
Being stupid, being dumb.
Okay,
And
all right.
yeah,
Are you actively engaged in the construction industry in New York?
on and off, yes.
Are you licensed?
No, I work off the books with like different carpenters and things like that. I hang TVs and stuff like that as well.
Okay. How old are you, sir?
I'm 33.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, well, sir, Mr. Gale, if you have any final comments to make, I'd like to hear those, after which Mr. Johnson will give a final argument. Anything you want to share with us, Mr. Gale?
I know I'm probably gonna end up getting hit with this fine, but I beg. It's just, I can't $75,000. That's more than 2 years worth of the average American salary. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I can't afford to pay that. If there's any way that we could probably significantly lower it to the minimum or something of that nature for me to try to pay it back in increments, if I could draw up a payment plan, if I can. I just want to put this behind me and move forward with my life and just don't worry about this anymore. Pretty much.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Yes. Now, I want to remind the board here that we're here only on the question of whether or not the violation occurred. We're not here to discuss any amount of potential fine the city could recover in this case. The code provision here requires that a violation occurs when the owner or operator of a vehicle uses that vehicle for illegal dumping purposes. Now here, it's clear that the vehicle that Mr. Gale rented in the line of doing an apartment clean out, he has been upfront about that, was used to deposit a large bulk of items on the streets of the city of Philadelphia. It's a clear violation of section 10(7)10, and frankly, there's been an extreme lack of candor by Mr. Gale with regard to his activities. He wrote an email to the board. I could show the board the email that says he was not in Philadelphia. He stated to me a minute ago that his wallet had been stolen. Somebody else rented the car. Now, none of that was true. I also would submit that here, he's tried to tell us that he's working with people. He has no idea who they are or how they could be contacted. And he's giving them credit card information and letting them do what they will with his financial security. Now, frankly, it doesn't pass the smell test. What I would also say is this kind of activity is destroying the quality of life for everyone in the city. And the city takes zero tolerance towards this kind of activity. And in order to uphold the law and provide a deterrent for such kind of activity in the future, it is paramount for the board to affirm the city here.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we will poll the board on HA-2023-001455, 3000 South 61st Street, Christopher Gale. City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Affirmed.
City affirmed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gale. The vote is unanimous, city affirmed, which means you lost your appeal. You may appeal a decision of this board. If you need information as to how you should do that, check in with the administrator's office. That phone number is on the communications you received with the decision letter. Thank you very much, sir, for your participation and your patience. Have a good afternoon. You excuse. Detective, you excuse. Mr. Johnson, if there's nothing else?
I believe that concludes the list.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wade, are we clear for today?
That's all.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon. And we will see you next time. Court reporter, thank you so much. Ms. Insman, thank you for your role today. Have a good day.
Thank you as well.
Okay.
Take care, everyone.